Yes, people, and welcome back to the channel. We've got a big show today, talking transfers. Liverpool, there's a lot of Liverpool news to actually go over. Loads of Liverpool news to go over. People, kindly make sure you smash the like button. You are subscribing to the channel. Very important you do so. On your way into the stream, we're nearly already on 20 likes in today's stream. Obviously, a couple of people must have pre-liked it or whatever, but make sure, people, you are subscribing to the channel and you are smashing the like button. Yeah, we're going to dive into the chat, and we've got guests coming on today. We've got a couple of people coming on today, so we're already on 20 likes. Let's try and, because it's a Friday, and we are going to be live for a good 2 hours today. I think 60 likes is possible. 60 likes, people. Let's get those smashed. Let's get subscribing. And yeah, we've got a lot of news to dive into today. And yeah, let's dive into it. So we are going to be starting off with Marc Guehi to start off with. We've got loads. So if you like your Liverpool content, make sure you're liking, make sure you are subscribing so you can stay up to date with the latest Liverpool content. Let's dive into the chat first. Smash the likes and subs on the way in. Let's get Guéhi done. Big up. How are you today, mate? I am feeling all right, mate. I am brilliant today, mates. If I'm being truly honest with you. Bit knackered after yesterday. I played a football match yesterday. I had a game. We won 3-2. And yeah, scored one, bagged an assist, pre-assist. And yeah, really good game of football, mate. Legs are a bit sore because I actually I thought I did my hamstring. And I was nearly in, oh God. Any of you guys that nearly done your hamstrings or done your hamstrings, like, yo, you know, it's pain. But yeah, let's we have got N90 coming on the show today. Hopefully Uncle Rod's potentially as well. We're actually going to send him the link as well. Let me do that. Jump on, bro. Boom. No messing about. We're going live. It's a big Friday. People know how the Friday streams work. We always do 2+ hours on a Friday. We just like to. But we have got N90 coming on the show. Big up to you, bro.
Oh, hello, mate. I knew I was in there. What's up? How's everyone doing?
I'm all right, mate. Yourself?
Good. Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. Just having a little coffee. I know it's 1 o'clock, but you know,
A
gotta
coffee,
get
you
that
know.
done.
Yeah, man. You had a good week so far?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. I was live when the Kirkes news went off yesterday, so that made my stream go to do very well. Over 35 likes and stuff. Everyone was supporting, so it was good, man. It was good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Took a day off yesterday because
Yeah.
I had to do some bits and bobs and stuff, and yeah, played football as well. And
Oh, wow. What
yeah,
position do you play?
I played right back.
Right back. Okay. Well, like Trent.
Um, more like a Jeremy Frimpong, to be honest.
So you're up and down.
Yeah,
Your stamina's there, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
That's what I like to. I'm
okay
more of
then.
like a right wing back / right mid,
Okay.
depending on whatever formation we play. Um, I I did have to play striker for about 10 minutes yesterday because
Yeah.
um, our striker got injured,
Oh man.
and basically while the other striker was coming on, he wasn't fully warmed up yet, so I had to
Yeah.
actually play striker. We had to go to a back two, and we conceded, went 1-0 down, got a man sent off, and then we ended up winning 3-2.
That sounds like a long 90 minutes.
No, it was only 60 minutes.
Oh, okay then. Fair enough.
Yeah, 30 minutes each half. Um, yeah, mad.
Long day.
Even though there's only about 10 people there. The limbs.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Hope you're all well, bro. By the way, guys, I'm gonna put your. Do you want to put your link in the chat, bro?
Yeah, sure. Look, give me 1 second. Let me get that.
Big up to Anton already in the chat. Big up to everyone that is in the chat already, guys. It is a
Was it
Friday
short?
stream. People know how Friday streams work. We always aim for 60 likes plus on a Friday. We're on 19 already. Big up to everyone. Let's get these smashed. Let's get subscribing
Mm-hmm.
to the channel as well. And yeah, make sure you click that link. Go and subscribe to N90. He's on the road to 100 still.
Yeah, I'm on 70 now. What's going on?
Go on, bro. Come on.
Yeah. I
I
don't think it's showing
reckon.
in my chat. I don't know what's going on. I think it's
I saw
different.
you went on Monster's channel yesterday as well.
Yeah, I did. I went on there as well. Yeah. Trying to get myself more out there. I got like a little 3 minutes in, you know what I mean?
Shouted me in on collab. Love that.
Yeah. Come on, man. Shout out the brothers then. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I doubt Monts knows who like me is, but
Yeah, but
hey,
it's you know what I mean. It's like there's other Liverpool fan channels like yourself, me, and Uncle Rod's, and then obviously you got Indian Scouts. So we're all collabing with each other. So it's good to just let people know there's other Liverpool fans doing stuff out there, innit?
100%, bro. 100%. I missed out on a lot of news because I literally didn't go on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah,
Barring literally, I uploaded a Guéhi announcement type video, and that was literally it. But
yeah.
I did wake up and see that Liverpool are closing in on a deal to sign Marc Guehi from Crystal Palace. Guehi has just 1 year left
Okay.
on the deal. Thoughts? Quick thoughts on Liverpool closing in on a deal?
I think this is an
To,
amazing signing. Amazing signing for Liverpool. More of because for a quality standpoint, it's a good player. It's a new Premier League proven. As a captain for Crystal Palace, won the FA Cup, knows how to win trophies. So this is the kind of players I want to come into the club. So yeah, man, I'm happy. I'm happy for this World Cup year as well. So everyone's going to be playing their best. So can't complain about this signing. You know, so it is what it is at the moment. I hope we just hope Konaté signs his contract, and then we can just move on from there. Smooth sailing.
I'm intrigued to see the price though, because Jacobs thinks 40 million.
40 million. Ooh,
40 million for Guéhi, I think he assumes.
that's not.
Like in
It's
terms
not
of
too bad
pay.
though. If he had the 5 years on, it'd be cost more, isn't he?
I think Guéhi'd start over Konaté for sure. He is homegrown.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I we'll dive into the Konaté chat later because there's a
Yeah.
lot to talk about. But for me, Guéhi is genuinely one of the best centre backs that you can bring in as a backup for the what he would offer. Playing a back three, he can play in the back four. A lot of people think he can't play in the back four, which he did it many times for England
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
for Palace at times. So he has that credentials as well. I'm not too worried about his height. Like for me, I've seen many centre backs who are 6 foot, who are tiny, and when we spoke about Guéhi in the past, just genuine as a general centre back, not many people have really picked out his height. They've always said Guéhi is a very good centre back. Like Newcastle wanted him,
Yeah, they did. Those
Tottenham
already spent
wanted
some money
him.
on him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all these clubs wanted him. I believe Palace rejected like 70 million or 60
Yeah.
something
It was
million
something
in
stupid. It was
January.
something. Yeah.
And he's very good on the ball. Very good on the ball, which I think Slot kind of wants one
Mm-hmm.
of those centre backs that can play really good on the ball.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the reasons why I believe we wanted Dean Huijsen, because he has that ball
Yeah.
playing ability.
No, he is. He's techie with it, man. You can tell. You can tell. Dean Hostin would have been a good signing, but the guy went to Real Madrid, unfortunately.
Yeah, man. I can't have. We'll dive into Real Madrid later because
Yeah.
these man needs to just leave
Chill
us
out.
alone.
I know. I
Leave us
know.
alone. I'm gonna have to go to the headmaster soon and say this is school bullying. This is like year 11 picking on a year 7 and taking their footballs all the time.
And kicking it over the fence.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, man. Yeah, smash the likes and subscribe. I think one thing, what I think is really good about Guéhi what I'm intrigued about is I saw about the minutes. It's all about the minutes he would potentially get at Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's going to be guaranteed minutes anyway, because if you think about it, Konaté has injury problems. Let's just say hypothetically, Konaté stays. He stays. Konaté will have injury problems, so he'll be guaranteed, I reckon, at least 10 games in the Premier League minimum. He'll be guaranteed all the cup games. He'll be guaranteed rotation in the Champions League, not in the
Yeah.
group stages. So I still think he's still going to get 25 to 30 games. And plus, let's say we're halfway through a match and we want to bring Guéhi on and Slot wants to stylistically change things up. He wants to go to a back three. I don't
Hmm.
know, something like that. Or he just wants to take off Konaté and Virgil for potential rest. I think this is a really, really good underrated piece of business that Liverpool are going to be doing. And he's only 24 years of age.
He's young as well, one for the future as well. So we can't complain. It's a good, very good signing. Marc Guehi coming at Liverpool, because he could even make Konaté's level raised up even higher, or he could potentially take his spot if he plays well. So we do. I think the centre back options they're too comfortable at the moment. Obviously, Virgil van Dijk is Virgil van Dijk, so his space is always going to be there. But having another centre back that comes in and that kind of battle for a number one spot would raise the level at the club also, because you always need that around your shoulder. Really, you need someone coming in to see how good they can do to keep you on your toes at the squad. So Marc Guehi coming in, happy with the signing. Very good technical baller as well, as you're saying. I do believe in that. He might be better on the ball than Konaté. Now I'm thinking. Um,
Yes, because I feel like when I watched Konaté a lot last season, he's either very good on the ball or he's very terrible. In the sense of, there's too many times where Konaté will pick up the ball in the mid from the defense. He'll go on like a little run, like a John Matip used to,
yeah.
and then he'll just lose the ball in the middle of the park, and then he's out of position. So then we have to trap back. That's where a lot of our defensive issues was last season when Konaté was losing the ball, where you
Mhm.
drive with the ball in midfield. Obviously, Trent will be bombed forward anyway. So
Yeah.
we got a centre back and a right back, literally not locked in on our positions when
Out of
defending.
position. Yeah.
That's why I think Guéhi's being brought in, because I actually think he's also very quick as well on the ball.
Yeah,
He's
he's
just
very quick.
he's just a very good defender, and this is a piece of
Mhm.
business that no one probably saw coming. You probably would have thought he may have gone to like a Tottenham or a Newcastle where he would have been guaranteed first team minutes
Yeah.
um, football for Liverpool. But I mean, I'm not going to complain. It's a very good signing, and it long may this all continue. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very intriguing to see what the wage, not the wage, how we're gonna like structure like the whole deal in terms of how much are we gonna pay for him? Because how much would you be willing to pay for him with 1 year left and probably not being that first team centre back?
Because the quality he is, and he's a first team Premier League centre back from Crystal Palace, and he's just come off an FA Cup win. Um, 30 to 40 million. 30. I know it's a lot for 1 year left but the type of player he is, I just want to see the players come into the club, man. So give them the 34 million they're asking for. He's 24 years old, literally has an 8 years left, maybe even more in him. So it's not like he's like 28 and you're getting him for like a 3 or 4 seasons. He literally could be at the club for 10 years, depending on how well he does. So yeah, man, 34 million is what I decide. And homegrown as well, because we do need some homegrown players that are coming in. So it benefits us.
100%. I think for the price and everything, I just think it's a piece of business where if you're moaning, you're just being very picky, because name me a better centre back than Marc Guehi that you can get to become the third choice, and for the value of what he is going to ultimately cost.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I just think it's a piece of business where in a year's time or whatever, we're gonna look back and say that was a brilliant piece of business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because even if
And
mhm.
I feel like, do you see Guéhi as a long term centre back for Liverpool, or do you just see him as He would just do a job for Liverpool over the length of his contract. In terms of what do you think the future plans are for Guéhi?
I
Because
think the
I
club
think
would
that's
have.
intriguing.
I think the club would not have bought a Marc Guehi if they didn't think he could come in and fill in for a long as a long term replacement. Because remember we have Virgil who's what's he 34 now or
34 now, Virgil. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm not saying he could replace Virgil because I don't think any centre back can replace Virgil. But what Marc Guehi gives us as a defender is what you want in your team. So he's a very, very good centre back. He's not at the world class level yet, but him coming and playing at Liverpool, maybe he can learn from the likes of Virgil to better his game and become a world class player. He's got every single attribute you want at a top club as a centre back. He's quick, he's good in the air, he's great at defending, and he's got technical abilities on the ball, which you want in how Liverpool and Arnold Slot set up. So you can't complain there. It's like a perfect fit for Liverpool.
100%. I
Hit me name
actually saw.
centre backs in him at the moment, but that would cost like high money. But he's gonna come in and be used to the Premier League, so I can't. It's a good signing for Liverpool, overall, man.
I actually saw some people criticize like his
Mhm.
aerial duels. If you actually look at
Okay.
his aerial duels, most of the aerial duels he loses is actually in the other side of the other end of the pitch.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? It's actually the
Oh yeah,
other
when
end of the pitch.
yeah,
When it actually comes to defending, he's very good, very physical, very big, and that's what you want in a centre back. And again, for the overall price, I just don't think anyone can particularly complain at this piece of business.
yeah,
Um, I don't. I don't. I would be concerned if he's the long-term replacement.
Mhm.
If I'm being honest with you,
yeah.
I am. I'm not gonna lie. Some people in the chat may disagree with me. By the way, we're 5 likes away from 30. So, guys, if we can get these up, let's get subscribing and let's get smashing the likes. N90's link is also in the title. So all you have to do is click the thing in the title, and drop him a sub. He's now 30 away from 100. We've got over 50 people watching, so let's try and get his numbers up
Yes,
as
come on.
well.
Even 10 in the stream would be great, so I can get to 80. Get 10 each day. That'll be amazing.
Yeah, man. And I think I'm 40 subs. I'm 82 subs away from 1.7, so I want to try and be pushing towards that.
Come on. What are you gonna do when you hit the 2K subs? What are you gonna do? You
I've
gotta
got
do
to
a
do.
celebration stream or something.
I'm gonna do something because I forgot to do something for the 1K stream,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna make up for it. Um, I've got some plans. I'm thinking I might do like a 2K celebrational stream outside Anfield, where I
Oh,
go
nice.
live outside Anfield and I just like celebrate getting
Do you live
2K.
close to Anfield then? Or
Only about an hour away from Anfield.
oh, that's fine. Okay then.
Yeah, so literally just jump on a train and that's it.
Mhm.
Just jump on a like 40 minute train, sounds.
That's
But
good.
what's the maximum you'd pay for Marc Guehi? Because I feel like Palace, that yes, he's got 1 year left, but
40, I reckon,
they're
because
not gonna
one
sell
year
him
left.
for cheap.
1 year left, I think 40. Because they're already replacing him with Diamante from Sport Lisbon. And Diamante is
Yes.
someone who I would like at the club, but he's young as well at the same time. But yeah, we're getting someone like Marc Guehi for 40 million. I was the max I'd go. 50, I see CJ says 50. 50 might be a bit too much for 1 year left. I think 50 for 1 year left from a player is for someone who comes in as a world-class starter. I reckon you
50
pay that.
max. The
Yeah,
maximum I would actually pay is 40 million.
yeah, maximum. That's what I'm saying. Maximum is 40. So I just like the fact that we're getting players. I think the best way forward is to get Premier League proven players when they come in the club. They really know what the Premier League's like. I understand some people might say there's flops like Torres went to Chelsea and flopped, but I think Chelsea didn't play to his strengths, hence why it got that way. You got to build up a team that's play at players' strength, and I just think Marc Guehi coming in at Liverpool, he'd be perfect because he's a proper no nonsense defender, and getting someone like him in will be amazing. So imagine, for example, we don't want PS to get injured. Say we had an injury to Konaté or Virgil, you would be content with a Marc Guehi coming in and playing. Like his style's probably different. You might not see him do like long distance pass for Diaz, but at least you know at defending, he's gonna be crucial at keeping us clean sheets and winning games. So man, can't complain, man. I just hopefully this gets over the line, and then we can kind of see what our squad's gonna look like. Because remember, Slot has seen the disadvantages in the squad and is building for a season long ahead where he can win multiple trophies. You can tell with the players he's brought in and the style he's going for that he wants to get later on in the Champions League. He probably looked at the PSG game and saw the left back and right back. They were crucial to PSG's win against us in that game. So he's probably looking at it and seeing we have a lot of benefits to do in the Premier League, get further in the FA Cup, Champions League. So yeah, man, I still knows what he's doing with the signings.
Yeah, like I said, I have full trust in the team and everything else. I think for me, the maximum I would pay is genuinely up to 40 million in add-ons. That's just due to the fact that Palace rejected 65 million quid in January. And that was with a year and a half left. So if teams are estimating his value at, let's say, 65 million, fast forward another 6 months, right, into the summer, he's got 1 year left. So that automatically, his price should decrease. Then you add into the fact that he's basically said, like, yo, I'm not signing our contract. I'll just go on a free. Liverpool might do the whole Real Madrid thing and say, yo, if he's too expensive, we'll just get you on a free.
Yeah.
Because I won't be surprised at that neither.
No, that is a good shout, but I don't think Palace is a club where they could just let a player go on a free, especially someone like Marc Guehi as well. They're going to need some money to come in. But they've got another set about that. Lurax, he's quite good so as well. That's already there. So, yeah, man, I just want to see this get done so we can just move on to other targets. But we have to wait for Liverpool to sell some players to get some in, I guess. So.
Yeah, like I said, I've said for a while the centre back probably will be the next position that Liverpool will do, mainly due to the fact that we sold Jarell Kwanzaa, we got that money in through the door, so we can use that to go and get the Marc Guehi. And you think about it in the sense of the reason why we're not gone for the striker next is because Liverpool probably just wants to get the easy business of Guéhi done because they probably see Newcastle as competition. They probably look at the strikers that they want. There's not really many competitors there in the sense of the strikers that they want. In the centre backs, you're looking at Tottenham are interested, so they can easily offer him first team football. That's the same with Newcastle, although Newcastle right now, every bid they're putting in for players just seems to be getting rejected.
I was going to say, they are struggling to get some players, and it's a weird one because how my mind thinks is if I was a player in the Premier League, I'd want to go to Newcastle because they've got Champions League football, they've got a good young up and coming squad, left back Lewis Hall, right back Livramento, they got decent centre backs. But I think what they're thinking the other players might be coming in is like maybe our Newcastle going to be able to sustain it. So, and our other clubs like Nottingham Forest want to sell their best players to Newcastle so they can get further in ahead of them in the Premier League. That's what it might be because it's competitiveness. So it's pretty like hard one to think there, but ultimately I think Newcastle are going to be sweating if you can't get an Mbeumo or you can't get that Langer in. Like, what are you supposed to do? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think a really good segue. A lot of people are talking about. Mark my words, Marc Guehi will put Konaté on the bench. Have you seen the news about Ibu?
Oh, that he's not signed the contract. Is that the one you're talking about? Or?
Yes, according to
I've heard
Samsi,
that. Yeah.
reported that Ibrahim Konaté wants to leave Liverpool at the end of his contract in 2026. He's looking for a new challenge, and several clubs have been notified.
Yeah, I saw that news. That broke late last night. But I didn't want to go live or anything. I thought I'd speak about it today a little bit. But if it is true, then unfortunately we're gonna have to sell him, aren't we? And then getting Marc Guehi in to replace Konaté is not a bad option. Konaté is a better centre back at this moment in time. I think Marc Guehi offers us a lot different stuff than what Konaté does. So because they're both different centre backs. I probably think Konaté might be better than him in the air. And I don't really see Marc Guehi as a player. I know some people might say he has bozo genes for Konaté. I don't think Marc Guehi has that sort of gene if we was to go that far about it. I think Marc Guehi plays more of the, when I see him play, he plays more of the easy pass than like the traditional, I'm going to try to cut through the lines and stuff like that. So they're both different players that way, but yeah, I'm not going to complain if we get Marc Guehi in to replace Konaté, but that means we'll have to buy another centre back if we lose Konaté as well. So we can't stop at just buying Marc Guehi in. We literally have to sign 2 centre backs in. There is Joao Hato as well, but he's more of a cover for a left back. But he can play centre back, so it's Liverpool got some hard work to do if this is true.
I actually think I don't know if I should be worried. I am worried about Konaté's contract situation. But before we speak more on it, we have got another guest coming on to the show. People, big up to Uncle Rod's TV in the house. My guy, come on, bro.
What are you saying, family?
What's
Everybody,
going on, man?
listen.
I'm good,
First
man.
and foremost, how is everybody feeling so far today? I know it's only 1:30, but how is everybody feeling?
Yeah, good, man. Bless up, man.
Yeah, I'm
Bless.
good.
Cool,
You know,
cool,
played
cool.
football yesterday, went gym this morning. So I'm feeling good and fresh, man. Just thought I'm gonna come on, stream and stuff. So talk about the Reds and that, because when I was out yesterday playing football and all this and that I had to get done, I missed literally all the news barring
Yeah,
the Kirkez announcement. So
yeah.
when I went on Twitter this morning, I was like looking through all the news, getting everything ready for the stream.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. As long as everybody's feeling good. Do you know what I mean? It's Friday, crunchy day.
I love Friday, man.
Friday feeling, Friday feeling. Listen, yes, what we talking about? What we talking about?
So right now we was just speaking on like the Guéhi stuff happening, like how Liverpool are like closing in on a deal, and is that meaning that Konaté is definitely going to be leaving in a year's time? And I ran a poll. I said, will Konaté sign a new contract at Liverpool? 58% people think no, he won't.
Listen, my stance on it is I was on Enz's show the other day. Big up Enz, man. To football with Enz. Big up each and every time. I said, look, if he's not going to sign a contract, sell his ass. Sell him. No, seriously, because we haven't got time. We haven't got time to mess about with this stuff. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's either you want to sell a contract. It's either you want to sign a contract. Yeah. If you do, get it done. Move on. Do you know what I mean? Because we got a title to defend. Do you know what I mean? This is the point I'm trying to make. We're not competing for a title. Excuse me. We're not competing for a title this season. We are defending our title this season. Yeah. And it's important that everybody's on board. Do you understand what I'm getting at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're umming and ahhing, yeah, we don't need that. So are we going to sign a contract and we move on and defend obviously defend our title? If you're not going to sign a contract, well then, right, and you're intending to leave on a free, at the end of the season, either to go to Real Madrid or even to go to PSG, right? If that's what your intention is, well, you can rot in the under 23s. You can rot in the under 23s. You can rot it down and we'll put you in the under 23s and see you like it then. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a World Cup year this year. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is. You can rot in the 23s. I don't care. Because the fact is that we cannot go through a situation of what we did last time with Trent. We can't. Do you know what I mean? So for like people, right? If he's allowed to do that, right? Yeah, because it's already happened already, right? That Trent's done it, and look now, you got Konaté wants to do it, right? So if we let that go, yeah, somebody else gonna want to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we have to sort of like put our foot down. You know what? I am Konaté's biggest advocate. I like Konaté. I think he's a good human being and a good footballer. Do you know what I mean? I'm always speaking highly of Konaté. But enough's enough. If you're not going to sign a contract, well, you're going in the under 23s. You are going in the under 23s. That's where you're going to be, and you can play in the under 23s for the remainder of your contract. Simple as that. We can't be messing about with these people. Listen, right? We're defending a title. We're not competing for a title. That's the way it is.
I agree with what you're saying, Uncle, in the sense of from on the under 23s, but I feel like it's if we was Liverpool to sell him this summer, we'd have to take a massive hit in terms of price tag, and plus Konaté would have to agree to a move, in the sense of, in a sense, he would be thinking, "Nah, I don't want to agree to a move because in a year's time, I'm going to get all the signing on bonuses, all the bigger wage demands, and signing on a free to the likes of Paris Saint-Germain or a Real Madrid."
Go Madrid, you
Um,
know. He's going Madrid.
I
Go
just
Madrid,
don't.
man.
I just don't know if we sell him, to be honest, because if we just brought in Guéhi as the Konaté replacement, I said to N90, I'd be really concerned if that was the case.
Quick question, sorry to cut you. Who would be your replacement for Konaté?
Who, me?
No, Footy Reacts, because he said he would be happy with Marc Guehi as the replacement.
In Hickby.
But he's he play left sided though.
Oh, if you talk,
Oh,
for reason
Ezekiel.
about like just overall defense.
Yeah, because he has to play left side, didn't it? Because he's left footed. Then
Yeah.
Virgil will go on the right.
I always, sorry to cut across here.
Yeah, go
I
on.
always thought, yeah, I think I said it before to you guys. I always thought that Marc Guehi is Konaté's replacement.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see him being sort of like Kwanzaa replacement. Do you know what I mean? Although Kwanzaa's gone out the door, he's
Yeah,
gone to Leverkusen, and obviously it's coincidental that we're bringing in Marc Guehi. But I don't see Marc Guehi as a Kwanzaa replacement because he's levels up from
yeah,
Konaté. He's levels up from Konaté. Not Konaté, Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa and Guehi are not on the same level. They're just not on the same level.
yeah.
Um, if you're looking at sort of like Konaté and Guehi, well then you put sort of like Konaté probably one or two levels above Guehi. There won't be much in it. So I more or less see that as a Konaté replacement much less than a Kwanzaa replacement. You understand what I'm saying? Because with a Kwanzaa replacement, all they have to do is just bring up something from the academy. You know what I mean? That's all they have to do. And that
Yeah.
guy was is it Naldo or the one that got sent off against PSV?
No, there's another guy, Nalo, or someone said it in the chat the other day. The one he's got Kane Rose. Oh, he just signed a new contract with Liverpool. He's highly touted. I need to
Yeah,
get his name, you know.
that's what I'm saying. It's like that's what I'm trying to say. So we're actually speaking about two players, yeah, from the academy that can replace Kwanzaa. Do you know what I mean? So I don't see Marc Guehi as a Kwanzaa replacement. I thought more or less see him as a Konaté replacement. Plus, at the end of the day, he's the captain of Crystal Palace. And if you listen to sort of like Marc Guehi is all about that work. He's all about that work. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm more or less see it as that. But the fact remains, if you're not going to sign another contract and you don't want to go, you're intending today to run down your sort of like contract so you can go on a free, right? Well, I know we're good. I know we'll take a hit, obviously in the money, but under 23s you go, because what it isn't there is going to hurt him more than what it hurt the club. Do you know what I mean? Because we've got to remember this is World Cup year. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now, if he wants to play in the World Cup, yeah, I suggest that then you buck your ideas up because you'll be playing the under 23s. and you'll
Yeah,
never get
because
to the World Cup.
it is hard to be a France #1 centre back. Like, look how many centre backs they've got: Upamecano, Hernandez, Konaté, Saliba.
Yeah.
They've got a load of centre backs.
Lacaba.
Yeah,
They've been
Lukeba.
together, Konaté
So
and
it's not like they're short for options. So
Well, there you
yeah.
go. So you better
I
get
do
it.
think that is on Konaté's mind. I can't lie. If I was to ask you both, gun to your head, does Konaté sign? I actually still think he does,
Oh,
because
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do think he would sign.
I think
Mhm.
we all need to look at it from different perspectives, though, because people saying Konaté, that's it, get him gone. But we don't know what Liverpool are offering him. If Liverpool he's on 70 grand a week. Konaté's a top 5 centre back in world football. He's looking at
Yeah,
Gabriel's, your
yeah.
Salibas, all
Mhm.
these men who are also top centre backs like he is on
Mhm.
200 grand a week. I think Konaté 200 grand a week is fair enough, because we all in agreement he's half the player that Virgil is. Virgil's on 400 grand a week. I
Yeah.
think 200 grand a week is fair for Konaté, and he's still what, 26, 25. So he's not
Still young.
old.
I heard he was
And
170. I've been hearing that he's asking for 170. I heard he's not even asking for 200k.
170 is fair, because he's only
Yeah,
asking for a 100 grand pay rise, and
yeah.
he's only had one contract, and that was the contract he signed
I
at
give him
Liverpool.
170. I don't understand why. But they're lowballing him. I think it must be an issue with. I'm sure Richard Hughes or Michael Edwards? They probably looking. Do they do contract negotiations as well, or looking to?
Yeah, they do it. They Richard, more or less Richard Hughes, isn't it?
Because they're probably looking at his I think what they're looking at is his availability, and they're probably basing it on his availability at his time at Liverpool. He is a great centre back, don't get me wrong, and Konaté probably walks into any team in football actually at this moment in time centre back. So that's how you know he's one of the best. But it looks like it might be down to just availability why he is not getting the money he wants. But for me, I'll just give it to him, man. I don't see another better centre back that we can get in than Konaté. So I hope he does signs.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
same here. I hope he does sign. I mean, it's just that sort of like, I don't want him to go on a free. I don't want any player to go on a free anymore. I don't want any player to go on a free, because I just don't see the point in it. Do you know what
I
I
would
mean?
actually argue about Konaté's availability, like you said, N90. He played 31 games in the league last season, and he played 4 games in the Cup, 7 in the Champions League.
No,
So
this season, I mean, this season is best year of his
in his
career.
availability, yeah.
Yeah.
And
This
you
was his
think
best
about it, the only injury he kind of picked up was when Endrick was constantly just
That
fouling
was
him.
crazy.
Like that game against Madrid, he had some weird hatred for Konaté that game, because he
I'm
just,
surprised
Man, he
no
was
one.
on
like,
it, man.
2-3
No one
times
clickbaited him.
he just went in on him. I'm like, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah.
And he did it
Yeah.
at full time as well. When literally the whistle bled, he literally went sliding into him.
That's where the injury came from. It's the last tackle he done. And I
Yeah.
was thinking, why did no one like take this little shit up? And not like that, but you know what I'm saying? He was like, you know what I mean? You know when he's getting a bit cheeky. I was like, come on, someone's just like put one foot
Leave
into
one
it.
on
Like,
him. Leave one on him, innit?
yeah, man.
Leave one on
You
him,
know what I
bro.
mean? That was crazy. I was thinking, what's wrong with him?
Yeah,
The
no, I hear
one
that.
gone, Uncle.
No, I hear that. I mean, you're right. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, he was Enric was actually wilding that day still. But you know what it was as well, the way I looked at it, it was up to the referee. Up to the referee to spot that and pull Enric up, give him a yellow card. Do you know what I mean? So he don't do it again. So he knows that day, well, look, no matter what time of the game it is, yeah, if you do that again, you're gonna get another yellow card and red card, you're gonna get sent off. Even if it's the last minute of the game, you're getting sent off. Do you know what I mean? You know, so I did think the referee was a bit poor, but yeah, man, he was wild that day, man. He was just literally he literally seeked Konaté out, and he's just like on him all the time. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but like I hope he does sign. It's just that sort of, I do not want another player going for free. I would rather put him in the under 23s than they, right? And say, look, you know, if you're not going to sign and you're not going to obviously agree to get sold, yeah, right? Well, then this is this is your new home for the rest of the season till your contract finishes. Do you know what I mean? That's the only option that sort of like Liverpool are faced with. That doing that if he's not going to sign or he's not going to agree to get sold. Because if let's say for instance that he's not getting the money that is due to him, yeah, well then really and truly, and they sort of like if there's a chance at the day that you can go to another club and get that money when you're sold, I would agree to get sold. I'll say, all right, then sell me then. If you're not going to give me the money, sell me. Do you know what I'm saying? Because like the other options ain't pretty of going in the under 23s until the end of your contract and missing out the World Cup.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So
I don't think Liverpool's a club that would do that though.
yeah, what?
I don't think they put him in the under 23s. You know, I think they'd give him to Slot and let him play in the squad. Same thing like Trent. Slot. They all kind of knew Trent wanted to leave when that's why Slot come out and said that he wasn't really happy with Trent's training as well. So I don't think Liverpool's a club where they disrespect players to put them in the under 23s. It might be the right thing to do, but Liverpool and Slot will probably see it as, you know, his top 3 centre back in the world. He can play well for us. As long as he's playing good football, we'll keep him in the first team, and then he can go off and do what he wants after. It's at the end of the day as well. Also, it's probably there's some issues with the club with contracts that they need to start sorting out. So when they have 2 years left on, instead of waiting for a years left, the club should probably sort out the contracts then instead of waiting like a year like this so they're in the situation. So if you look at it now, the players that's left the club, or including Trent this year, we sold him for 10 million in the end, but to tell him in for like what 4 months left of his contract, which is crazy. But it's a hard one, man, because I don't want Konaté to leave. I want to see him play and prosper at Liverpool Football Club. So I hope they can sort out the contract. But if it doesn't happen, I reckon he would still definitely play in the first team. He's too good of a player not to play him, as long as he's not doing stuff. But I understand where you're coming from. I just don't think Liverpool's a club that will be that disrespectful with the players. You don't want to set a standard at Liverpool FC about that, even as well as the contracts leaving in 6 months.
But I think it's doubly disrespectful that he will want to go for free. This is what I'm trying to make, and what it is that Liverpool have got to make a stand. Do you know what I mean? Because what will happen will be a chain reaction. Let's say at the end of the day this is true, right? That he wants to run down his contract, right, and wants to go on a free, whether it's to Real Madrid or Paris Saint-Germain or whatever. Yeah. Let's for 1 minute say that is true, because we don't know if it's true or not. Do you know what I mean? Let's say it's true. Well, didn't Trent do that? Just do that. Trent's just done that. Yeah, right. Now, my problem is at the end of the day is that if we allow Konaté to do that now, right? Who's next? Who's next? You know what I mean? Who? Excuse me. Who's next? Somebody else can do that. Do you know what I mean? Because they know it, and they will look, and then they're still going to let me play. Do you know what I mean? But if you put your foot down and set a precedent to say, well, look, you know what I mean, right? We run things around here, not yourselves. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, if you're not going to sign it, and right, we're not prepared to let you go for free. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, it's either you got some options here. It's either you sign a contract and we're all happy, right? 2, at the end of the day, right, you agree to go on the transfer list if you're not going to sign a contract, or 3, at the end of the day, you go on the under 23s. You have to set a precedent, because really and truly, at the end of the day, right, if this is true, right, that he doesn't want to sign the contract and want to go in a free, well, he's cast the first stone. That's the first sign of disrespect. So what it is up to Liverpool to see how he reacts, because we've always been a long time we've been begging like Liverpool to be more ruthless when it comes to players. Nigel Chance, long time at the end of the day we've been asking Liverpool to spend money on players and get the best players in. They're doing that. So really and truly at the end of the day, I think in some respects you have to set a precedent to say, well, look, you know, we are not sort of like happy about this, and we're not going to stand for this. This is not the right way to conduct yourself with a football club. Do you know what I mean? On the other hand, as well, right? Liverpool need to get their thumb out their jacksie, right, and start signing up, sorting out this contract. As like he said, start signing sorting these contracts from early, so you know what you're doing. You know if that person is staying, or you know if the person's going. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If a person's going, you can start making provisions at the day to find his replacement and ship him on. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Yeah. Right. Don't wait till the man gets to the last year of his contract, and then you're rushing around, trying to sort out this and trying to sort out that, and he's asking for a certain amount of money, and you're not prepared to do that because of this and because of that. All this stuff, all that stuff should have been done last year when you had 2 years left. Do you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? You know, so it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. To be honest, when I look at this situation, do you know what I mean? You know, so I'm just saying, look, you know, you have to set a precedent somewhere along the line to say, well, look, you know, these sort of conducts of what these players have when they want to run down their contract is not good. It's just not good enough.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like this tweet says about Konaté said numerous times not to believe what the media says about his contract. My only issue is I would have full belief in him, in what he's saying, if we didn't just see what happened to Trent.
Yeah.
Because then I could believe it a bit more. Because Trent did the whole thing. I'm not going to speak about my situation. Did all the celebrational crap and all that. I still think Konaté will sign. I think if he rejects the next contract, because I think by then Liverpool will probably offer him another contract probably soon. And if those details do get revealed and they're actually on decent terms and he rejects, I think then maybe he potentially does leave on a free.
Yeah.
But the answer to your question about the contract situation at Liverpool, the whole system, I'm not concerned because we have to remember this is a new regime that has literally just kick-started a year ago. And I expect the contract situation to be resolved in terms of players getting down to their final 1 or 2 years within the next year or so, because we've had so much to really do be off the scene while sorting out the contracts for, you know, Virgil and Mo, and obviously we tried to get the Rat one as well. But ultimately, I think in a year's time,
I know.
yeah, in a year's time, McAllister's going to be on 2 years, I believe. So Bosley and then man will be on 2 years. So that's when I'm going to start asking the questions to the team in the sense of, okay, what have you learnt from Mo, VVD, 66, and Konaté situation? Have you learnt, and now are you actually going to get these contract situations more like resolved quick and fast before you can get your Real Madrids in there? Because I guarantee in a year's time, Real Madrid are going to be chatting to Alexis McAllister and say, yo, run down your contract,
100%.
lad.
100%.
Run down your contract. We're going to be the exact same situation with
That's
McAllister.
what I'm worried about next. I'm worried about McAllister next. That's what I'm worried about because he could fit in Barca's or on his team easily.
Oh, mate.
Easily.
But you know what it is with McAllister? To me, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? He seems like a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He seems like a stand-up guy. Like, to say, well, look, if he doesn't want to be with Liverpool, he'll just say for an earlier, I want to go here. Do you know what I mean? Or if he does want to stay with Liverpool, he will say for an earlier, I'm stopping at Liverpool, because he's already saying that he wants to win the Champions League next.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. Do you know what I mean? So he seems a bit more like kind of like more grounded in that sort of way. You know, you're never gonna get that. To me,
Like
this
he's
is
got a
what
bit of honesty to him, a bit of
Yeah,
loyalty.
yeah, you're never gonna get that speculation around him, like whether he wants to stay or whether he wants to go or blah blah blah. He seems a bit like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you what's up. I'll tell you what's up from time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to go, and here's my reasons why I want to go, or want to stay, and here's my reason why I want to stay. He's just not gonna get speculation. He just seems really honest. You can look at his face and say like, Nah, he's not gonna sort of like.
Yeah, he's not a good guy in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not gonna. Yeah, he's not gonna go around the thing. He's not gonna go around you.
Also,
He ain't gonna go around you. He's gonna sort of like tell you, yo, this is how it is, bro. You know what I
with the
mean?
contract situations, yeah. I agree with McAllister being he would just tell the truth how it is. With the contract situations regarding Salah and Virgil van Dijk, they came out and said that they wanted to stay as well. We didn't really hear that from Trent. Or
This is what
I don't
I'm in the arm, isn't it?
yeah, we haven't really heard it from Konaté saying that he wants to stay yet. So that's what's making me feel like, oh, like you know what I mean. So at least with Salah and Virgil, we could put it on the club and say, well, they said they want to stay, just pay them the money, kind of thing. At the club with Konaté, we haven't really heard him coming out saying, hey, I want to stay at the club. It's up to the club to pay me what I want, kind of thing. So maybe they're doing stuff behind the scenes. Maybe he's saying it behind the scenes. It's just a nuisance because we've done well in the transfer market so far, getting Kirkes, Frimpong, and Wirtz. It's just like there's always like a little shadow on Liverpool about the contracts at the moment. So I'm just hoping that can get sorted out very, very quickly. I know people are saying sell him in the comments, sell him in the comments. Trust me, you'll see a big difference if we sell Konaté. Even though we get Marc Guehi and he's a great centre back, trust me, you'll see a big difference in the squad when he's not there because he is a great player. So
he's a great player.
I'll probably say Konaté and McAllister are my favourite players at the club. So I obviously, from a bias standpoint of view, I want him to stay.
Yeah.
I thought he was intrigued. Did you guys see the pictures of him at Anfield when everyone went home and stuff, and he was just sat in the stands?
Oh, he's in his. Yeah, I seen that one. Yeah, he was soaking it in, wasn't
around.
he? Yeah.
Who's that?
Konaté, when he sat by himself, in the stands by himself, and he's just there looking around, like just soaking in the atmosphere.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. Hey, sidetrack? I watched that documentary at the Alisson story.
Yeah, I
watched that yesterday, man. Yes,
I need to see it still.
Let me tell you something. It's emotional. It is emotional, man. I lumped my throat, bro. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't ashamed to say it's emotional. Do you know what I mean? To see, you know what it is at the day? It's like whenever they show like do stories like that, and they pick moments of like the person's career and all that. Do you know what I mean? It kind of shows you what kind of special player this guy is and why he is world's #1 goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? And the way he deals with his family is just awesome. It's just awesome, and like him and Klopp were like that because Klopp said, he goes like, he's not only my friend on the pitch, he's my personal friend off the pitch. Do you know what I mean? And stuff. I mean, it's just listen. I recommend people go and watch that, man. It was just like,
what is it on? Because I haven't been needing to watch it.
TV or something, innit?
Yeah, it's on LFTV. You have to sign up to LFTV to watch it. I'll tell you, it's worth it. It is so worth it.
I am gonna watch it.
Let's get Amazon stick. Get Amazon stick, guys. Don't worry, just get it.
I might do an Alisson documentary watch along.
Yeah,
are you allowed to do that?
No, like in the sense of where I don't show it, but I.
Yes. Okay.
You talk about bits from it. Yeah.
Or show the minutes. Oh,
I love Alisson, man, because the way when he spoke about his dad and stuff, about God and stuff, like in those ways, I kind of like relate to Alisson myself. The way he speaks about like his religion, his family, and the love the love he has for Liverpool. A lot of people don't. I don't think a lot of people realize. A lot of people don't realize how much he loves Liverpool.
Yeah,
you saw at the end of the season where he's jumping on the goalpost and he's sitting on top of the goal with the trophy, getting involved with the fans. I love Alisson, man.
There's a bit in it, right? Where remember when we won the Champions League? Yeah, we won the Champions League, and obviously after the game, he's sitting in the middle of the pitch, and he FaceTime his wife because his wife was in Brazil having their second child. I think it was the second child. Yeah, it was the second child he was having in Brazil, right? And he FaceTime his wife, and he's talking to his wife and said, like, we done it. He showed her the medal, and he literally showed her the stadium. And listen, that was just so beautiful, man. That's just unbelievable. As I said, there's a lot of moments in that documentary
Yeah.
that are very emotional. Like when he talked, the most emotional thing was when he talked about his dad. He's like the love he had for his dad, and do you know what I mean? The relationship they had. Do you know what I mean? They were just like, he goes like, he literally said, he goes, my dad was an amazing man. He was an amazing man. He was an amazing man. He was an amazing father. It's so beautiful to see. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
beautiful.
because when he scored against West Brom, and he scored because he dedicated that goal to his dad.
Yeah.
Because I think his dad passed away from drowning, if I'm correct.
Yeah, apparently so. It was a tragic
Really?
accident, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
Oh.
I remember when he did the interview and he started tearing up.
Yeah.
Little old me, I actually remember I was I was nearly tearing up as well for
Mm.
him. Like he's just, Alisson's like one of those players where if you don't support Liverpool or not, how can you not love Alisson? Do you
Yeah,
know how
yeah,
everyone just doesn't like? Everyone likes Kante, for example. Like
yeah, yeah.
no one dislikes Kante, man.
No.
Alisson's one of those players, man. Like you can't help but like love his personality and his beliefs and love and stuff. A lot of people in the chat have been asking me to bring up this. I'm not sure. I've not seen it yet, but I've seen a few people talk about it. So do you know the Liverpool chairman Tom Werner?
Yeah.
He spoke and he was speaking to the Echo, and he came out and said, "It is an exciting time right now, but we wake up every day and I keep using the word relentless. We want to win more trophies. We don't want to just appreciate what we have done. We are hungry to be more successful, and what is exciting is that the league is tremendously competitive, and we will think it will be a challenging season."
Do you know what I'll say on this? I think they've done a complete U-turn on Liverpool because I know they own a baseball team, right? Is it?
Yes.
Yes, I think they've seen what's happening with Liverpool and it's taken them over a long time to do a U-turn. And now that they can see us doing very well, there's a lot of money in football to be made because even with the new Champions League, we finished top of that and we got quite a good money for doing that. Finished top of the Champions League, so they're probably thinking now, you know what? Let's give the fans what they want, the club what they want, and yeah, man, it's just crazy seeing them talk like this because before, if you would ask me like 5 years ago or something, do you think our owners really like care about Liverpool do like winning trophies and stuff? I would have said no, not really, but I don't know what's happened with them, but they've done a change of a seat from what I've seen.
This is what I want to see. I want to see our
Mm.
owners. I want to see our chairman come out and speak about the club.
Mhm.
Like that's one thing I've always asked for in recent times is just to come out and speak about the club, whether it's a positive in the sense of what we're doing on and off the pitch. Because I think it's important for owners to speak to the fans and let the fans know about what's going on at the club, what they're excited for, what their future plans are. Because ultimately, we are the customers. We are the customers of the football club. And we deserve to have a right in the sense of, come out and speak, man. Because we're the people that support the team
Yeah.
week in, week out. Do you know what I mean? And some interesting words made here, like relentless and we are hungry to be more successful. That's what we want to hear because this football club should be successful. This football club should be winning Premier League titles, Champions Leagues,
Yeah, I'm
competing on
still
all
here.
this.
I'm sorry to cut because I'm still here. I'm just doing some little bits. Yeah, but I'm still here. Don't worry, I'm still here. Still here.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Uncle. We was just speaking about Tom Werner anyway. But it's an exciting times N90 regarding our owners and stuff.
Mhm.
Do you think they've actually done a complete U-turn in the sense of like, yo, they actually might start putting their hands in their pockets like the fans want, because there is a lot of football to be made, because they full well now know, for example, let's say if Liverpool win a Champions League, for example, they're going to a Club World Cup. And what's at the Club World Cup? Money.
Yeah.
So that's why
Incentive, innit?
you're effectively killing two birds with one stone. We know our owners want money. We as a fans want trophies. So you're effectively killing two birds with one stone, because if you go and win the Champions League, you get stupid amounts of money, you get a big trophy at the end of it, and you're going to be entered into the next Club World Cup. So you're getting money and trophies at the end of it. And if you get out the groups and win the group, you get 80 million if you win
That's what I was
the
saying to you.
league phase.
Because we won the week, the one, yeah, that's true. We won the league phase and we got 80 million. So the new Champions League format has incentives for clubs to finish top. We finished top and ended up playing PSG, which is kind of annoying. Don't want to play them that early, but yeah, I feel like they've done a U-turn mainly because it could be money wise. I'd hope it wouldn't be there because of money. You mentioned that they put digging deep money into their own pockets. I'm not entirely sure if they do that just yet, because you know that apparently FSG, they never put their own money into the club. It's always the self-sustaining model. But I think where we haven't spent money on players for the years beforehand, we've built up. Maybe they've been saving for this kind of moment. We don't know. We'll find out soon. Maybe they might put a documentary and they had a long 10-year plan or something, and we'll find out, oh, geniuses in the end. You know what I mean? To get all the right managers in and stuff. But we'll have to wait and see. But at this moment in time, he's using the buzzwords like relentless, stuff like that. It makes us sound happy. And it's good times at Liverpool. But it looks like they've set a target, and Liverpool are now one of the most high-earning club in UK. I think it might be the most at the moment, higher than Man United at the moment. So we're bringing in a lot of money at the club. So it's only right that they spend it to, bring in the players. And also Adidas sponsorship is coming through, so Adidas is probably a big brand. It's an American-owned brand, isn't it, Adidas? Or is it German? It's American, isn't it?
I think it's American.
German.
Someone
will put in the chat if it's but I know Adidas pay well in sponsorship deals as well. So yeah, man, I like what they're saying at the moment, but I like what they're doing. They've done right by Liverpool in the long run. I know they tried to do the old Super League thing, but so did everyone else. But yeah, man, I'm happy at the moment. And it's kind of weird seeing this kind of stuff, because we, as Liverpool fan, have never really seen us go so cutthroat about things. You know what I mean? Like, the only player I've watched us sign at the time that was highly touted was a Fernando Torres. Even when we signed Suarez, no one knew he was this big. He was a baller, but we didn't know he was this amazing striker. So yeah, man, everything is new. Everything is new. So you can only be excited at the moment, man. It's just crazy, man.
Yeah. So real quick, is that one of the reasons why I think they've ultimately changed their mind is mainly due to the money that there is in the game now. With the Champions Leagues, with the Premier Leagues now, and they've seen that the long term is actually better. You actually do get more money if you go and win trophies. And now with our squad, now with our manager, there's no better team in England right now than Liverpool. So bringing in these Verts, etc., that's going to be here for the next possible 5 to 10 years is going to help us become more dominant.
Yeah.
Adidas is German, apparently.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, German. Okay, cheers.
Yeah, I think, like you said, you get, I think someone put in the chat, you get 197 million from winning the Club World Cup.
I thought it was 120, but 197
and I
million.
think you get 60 million just for being in it. So you
Seriously?
could finish bottom of your group and you'll get 60 mil.
So all those clubs got 60 million?
60 million, yeah, because it's a £1 billion prize pool in terms of spread it to all clubs and
sponsors
and then
all
the
that.
overall factors. So let's say if you got to the semi-final, you'll probably get an extra 20, 30 million, for example.
No wonder teams
That's
want to
why
be
teams want to win this competition, because ultimately
Yeah. It's
it
free
kind
money.
of it kind of funds your transfer window effectively. But real
Yeah.
quickly, people, N90 is not far from 80 subs. So
Yeah,
click his link in the chat. Uncle Rod's channel is in the description, so make sure you click on his.
please
Get
do,
him.
guys.
People asking about Alexander Isak. We are going to be speaking about Isak very soon. We're just
Yeah,
going through all the big topics because I know everyone in the chat wants to speak about Isak.
I like Isak.
We're on 41 likes, people. Let's get these likes up to 50. Let's get these likes up to 50, man. You know, we've had over 1,000 people tune in today's stream. So let's get these up to 50 likes. And we're now 4 subscribers from 1,670. So if you've not hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so. Make sure you are liking. And big up to everyone in the damn chat. So, do you think this is a positive, or do you think this is all PR? If you was to,
Do you know what?
I'm still wary. I'm still going to be wary.
wary. But the thing is, the fact is, now we were just discussing. You made some good points about the World Cup. Yeah, I think they probably got a goal to say in 4 years' time we need to be at that World Cup. Do you know what I mean? So, plus you got to remember the sponsorship deals while the World Club Cup goes on as well. There's not just money from that's going on. There's sponsorship deals they can get on while they're doing it. So it's definitely a thing that to look out for. But ultimately, if you can make 60 million just for going there, getting in there, and make money on the way, how can you complain? And if you win it, that's 197 or 120 to 97 million touted. Why would you not want to be in there? And plus, if you're at the World Club Cup as well, just as a sponsorship side, the business side wise, you are one of the best clubs in the world. But actually, by sponsorship standards and world standards, if you're in or taking part in that for that trophy. So yeah, man, it could be PR, but at the same time, it looks like they've done a complete U-turn, and for some reason now they're coming out and saying this stuff. So it's kind of like watch this space. We can only wait on action. So we'll see how the transfer market finishes and ends, and then we'll see how it goes. But at the same time, did Klopp have money to spend but didn't want to spend it or not? No, we don't know that yet. Well, we've seen that Slot has literally got an open checkbook, which he deserves anyway because he won the Premier League. So yeah, man, I'm excited for this, man. I'm excited. It's a bit strange, as I was saying before. I know I keep on saying this. I've never seen Liverpool act this way in the transfer market, even though we did need some players. It's just it's a weird one. I feel like we're moving like Man United in the 09 or 08, 7 seasons. They'd win a league and they'd still get the next best player at another Premier League club or the next best thing at another like a foreign club. So we're moving how we should be moving as champions, to be honest with you. So I can't complain. I just can't wait to see Wirtz play with Marc Alisson and Gravenberch in midfield. So
yep, exciting times. Should we give the chat what they want about Isak then?
Yeah, go on. 5 away from 50.
We'll give them what they want. Because everyone wants to talk about the main man. People, we're 5 likes away from 50. So if we're talking Alexander Isak, which is what you want, you gotta give everyone else a bit back here. So 5 more likes from 50. Make sure you get those smashed. And make sure you are subscribing to N90 and Uncle Rod's. N90 is on the road to 100. But
74 guys, thank you. I can
74.
see.
We're guys, we've got over
mate.
60 people. Let's try and get 6 more subs. Are you going live again today, bro?
I am meant to be going out. But I could do a quick live after this. I'll message you if you're free and we could speak about a few things on there, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 110%. I think you said something in the private chat about Alexander Isak.
There's something about there's a few tweets, well, X messages about Alexander
Is it anything Liverpool?
It's to do with Liverpool, as in the sense of.
Funny enough, they actually follow me on Twitter.
Who? Liverpool?
No, not Liverpool. Anything Liverpool.
Oh, he's got a great channel, man. He's great.
They got 350k followers. Big up to them.
Yeah, I like his stuff. He goes live sometimes. I didn't know that, but yeah.
So this is what he has had to say about the Isak situation. We've got a load of Isak.
Even
tweets.
Jamie Phillips tweeted something on there because he said I thought he wasn't for sale. That's what Yeah, but you'll see the stuff that they talk about.
Yeah. Yep. I hope Isak rejects you. Yeah, Isak ain't rejecting us, mate. This is a new dawn. So this is what was said 26 minutes ago. Isak, Newcastle would rather sell abroad than do business with domestic sides in England, and then go back to this tweet. So it's gone from not for sale, only for 150 to 200 men, rather sell to foreign clubs.
Yeah.
Newcastle are changing their tune. They're changing the tune. The tune is changing regarding Alexander Isak, and this is giving me. This is where Uncle Rod's got me on the train. I got that ticket last week when he said, "Get the ticket, get the ticket." I've got the ticket. The ticket man has just checked my ticket. He has given me the green tick, and we're still on the train to the journey. I can't lie. Seeing tweets like this is making me a bit more believable that there is potentially a chance. Not saying we will, but a chance that we can get him.
Yeah.
And fair play to Uncle, man, because he's out here convincing everyone that Isak is joining. So, do you know what I mean? What's your thoughts, Uncle, on this? And then we'll see what N90 has to say.
Listen, the train is coming in, man. Yeah, and we're on that train, and now they're serving up the snacks. The announcer is telling you where they're going. Listen, the train train's there. Now, listen, you know what? I think Liverpool's going to try their damn hardest at the day to get a deal like this out of the way. You know what I mean? Get it sorted, because they know at the day, right, this is their probably last opportunity to dominate. Do you know what I mean? And if they don't take this opportunity will never come back again. It's not going to come back again. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're going to take it. And I do see a world where, you know, Isak can come to the club. Listen, what is he going to win really at Newcastle? You're not going to win anything. No disrespect to Newcastle, but can you see them as potential Champions League winners? I mean, can you see them as potential league winners? Do you know what I mean? The most you can probably see them as potentially winning is League Cup and FA Cup, isn't it? Really? Do you know what I mean? That's where your chances are going to be. But when it comes to Champions League and the actual domestic league, you can't see Newcastle winning that. Come on now, man. Seriously. Do you know what I mean? You know? So he's then got to look at his future and say where is his future lie? Where does his future lie? Does it lie at the end of the day when hoping that he can win a Champions League or league with Newcastle, or are you going to like go to the club where you know you can win it with the players around you that you know that's going to help you to win it? He could become a legend at Liverpool. I'm sorry, innit?
Yeah,
that's what I think.
I think I don't disagree about last chance to dominate, because I feel like Liverpool will always, you know, as long as we, you know, keep the players we want and we never fall back to how it was, I feel like we'll always be in that competitive standpoint of it. But in terms of dominating, if we sign Alexander Isak, I would generally put a bet on Liverpool winning 2-3 titles in a row.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
with Salah and Van Dijk being here for the next 2 seasons.
That is facts. That, and this is the thing that sort of like Alexander Isak's got to think about with the acquisitions that we're getting in the squad, yeah, along with the likes of Salah, along with the likes of Diaz, because I still think Diaz stays. You know what I mean? Gappo, do you know what I mean? McAllister, Szoboszlai, Wirtz, Frimpong, Kirkes. Van Dijk, Konaté, because I still think he stays. Do you know what I mean? Gravenberch, come on now, man. Seriously. Did you hear what Frimpong said about sort of like
yeah. I see the video. Yeah,
you saw that video. He goes like, he goes Ryan. He goes Ryo. He goes calling Ryo, don't he, or something like that, right? He goes, you see him? He's a baller. He is a baller. Do you know what I mean? Now you got all that acquisition at the day in your club. Yeah, in that club and everything now. Yeah, and he's going to be the icing on the cake. You cannot tell me that he's not going to ball out at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're balling out with with Newcastle, where, let's face it, the players are obviously are not better than Liverpool players, even the standard that what we got now, and you still managed to win a League Cup with them. Imagine what you can win with Liverpool. Come on now. Be right back. Be right back.
That's right.
I agree, man. I just think it's certainly interesting, time to. It's exciting, even if it doesn't happen. This is what I want. I want to be linked with the best players. I want to be linked with the best players in the world. I want us to have a chance, even test the waters. I've said for the time, about a week or two, I do think Liverpool will test the waters for Isak.
Yeah.
Whether they get him is obviously a different story. But ultimately, I do think we will bid. That's an opinion. And I think I could see us doing it from 110 to 120. There's a tweet here. Liverpool will continue to keep a waterful eye over developments in the northeast. Any encouragement that a deal can be done for Isak, bring Hughes and co to the table next month when the profit, sustainability, relegations reset for a tough awaiting game ensures. And that's the reason why I think Liverpool are going to be waiting, is because there's a couple of bits of news. Newcastle are interested in signing Harvey Elliott, Graham Bailey reported.
Yeah.
And I believe Newcastle had 3 bids rejected because they put in the triple bid. So Fabrizio posted this at Newcastle and Trafford are underway. This is what I saw from the Telegraph. Newcastle have failed in bids totaling 120 mil to sign. João Pedro 50 mil, James Trafford 25 mil, and Alanga 45 mil.
Yeah.
I think, Newcastle, are they in trouble? Newcastle, if you need some help, we will not mind helping you. Just give us the call. But we do ask for one thing in favor.
Yeah.
We get one man from your team, and that is it. We can help you go and get 3-4 players. Just kind of like you give us at least one of your players, and that being Alexander Isak. N90, do you honestly believe that this is telling about these players that Newcastle are being linked with? Because are you one of those people that are going to be looking into the players that they are linked with and they are bidding? Because could that ultimately be telling that Liverpool actually are going to be doing that?
Yeah. It looks like what they're trying to do is Champions League seasons come through, so it's only natural to get more players in because you're gonna need a bigger squad. But you can tell they're trying to improve the squad massively with the 3 players that they're getting in, especially with Elanga and João Pedro. They want to boost their attacking options, which they do need to, if they're going to lose someone like a Isak. But it's a bit cheeky if it is true from Newcastle saying they want to sell Isak to a team outside of the Premier League, but then they want to buy players that's from the Premier League from Brighton and Elanga, from Nottingham Forest, Elanga. So it's a bit cheeky from them, isn't it, about that? But for me, if they want Elliott, you know what I'm saying, we can do some different deals. You know what I'm saying? You want Elliott, take a cash swap, stuff like that. But ultimately, if it just takes Isak to say, "Hey guys, I want to join Liverpool," and then it's done. Do you know what I mean? So no matter what they say, "Oh, we can make this smoothly." But it's all in my eyes. What I'm seeing so far, it's all up to Isak at this moment in time. But we have to wait for Liverpool to sell the strikers. That's fact. Attacking options like Nunes and Chiesa. Once that is done and they sell those 2, I think that's when the striker attacking options would come in more. So, like you said, a week or in 2 weeks' time, we'll probably hear more news about it. Then once we've got Nunes and Chiesa out of the club, and then the Isak news will be up to him. If he just says, "Yo, I want to go to Liverpool," then it'll be done. And I don't think we'd even have to pay the massive asking price, because when the player comes out and says, "I want to go to your club," you generally don't have to pay the massive fee for him. It might go down because look, he said he wants to leave. It's not like he wants to stay at the club either. So it is one for look out for. I just hope it happens before preseason, but I think this one might go into preseason. I think we might go into preseason without a recognized new number 9 at the club, if that makes sense. I think this one will take a while. I don't think it'll be a quick one.
Yeah, I think that 100%. I'll be shocked, to be fair, if we actually end up with a number 9 by preseason, because preseason's literally in about 2 weeks.
Exactly, yeah.
It's in literally 2 weeks. So I would be shocked myself if we saw that. And this is what I saw regarding about Newcastle with Isak's contract situation, because there is reports that they want to give him a new contract. The problem is that giving Isak a enormous new contract threatens the stability of the dressing room. If they give Isak a club record contract, then the likes of Gulemaish, Tonali, Macon calling, asking why aren't they earning similar amounts. What we need is this man here to reject the contract.
Yeah, you're right, 100%. If he just says no, it's like I was saying to you, it's all in his hands. He just has to say, I want to leave and go to Liverpool. But I think he's a very respectable person, Isak. He comes across that way for Newcastle, because they probably do a lot for him, because Newcastle are a respectable club. But I just see that it just has to be up to him. He just has to say, hey, I want to leave Newcastle, and then give Liverpool the green light. Let's see that happens. But we never know. Liverpool could have contacted representatives already, because you know how sometimes Liverpool are very low key with their transfer talks sometimes. So maybe no one in the camp has given out the news that Liverpool are talking to him. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard news now or tomorrow or next week that Isak had a meeting with Slot a couple of weeks ago to even talk about a Liverpool move or anything like that. So we just have to wait and see how it goes. But I think Gomez and Tonali, asking them earning similar amounts is it's a bit different there. But,
yeah, I mean, I hope he does reject. What did I wanted to bring up next about Isak is what I saw is that this was from the Telegraph.
Yeah.
That Newcastle launch triple bids for Pedro, Trafford, and Elanga. There's a guy in my chat, right? There's actually a guy in my chat that watches me. He's been saying for months, Joao Pedro, Trafford, and Elanga, Newcastle will bid for him. They've bidded for him.
Yeah.
So ITK in the chat, mate. What's the latest on Isak to Liverpool? Yo, is it going to happen or not?
Let us know, man.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, because he puts it in my chat every day for the past 3 months.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, hey, positive is a positive. So, and then I saw, where is this? About Isak. I saw that Alexander Isak would be open to a move. So this is where we spoke about. We've actually got a Newcastle fan in the chat, non-stars.
Big up, Alan.
big up the two, mate. But sorry, mate. we do want your certain striker. So yeah. By the way, guys, we're 8 likes away from 60. So let's get these likes smashed. Let's get subscribing. We're on that road to 2,000 subscribers. We're aiming to get there. I'm reckon in the next, by pre-season, I'm aiming to be in and around 2,000 subscribers. By then, N90 should be on about 300-400 subs.
Oh,
Simple
that'll be
as
a
that.
dream, mate. That'll be a dream.
Not a dream, mate. I'll tell you this now, mate. I reckon you can get 1K before the end of the transfer window.
I want to try my best.
And yeah, I mean, the fact that Isak's open to a move is good, and it's something we want to hear, because I've said for the longest time, if Liverpool are going to sign Isak, they need Isak to be involved in the sense of, look, I want to go to Liverpool. I'm not saying put in a transfer request because you don't really see those sort of things anymore in football, but in the sense of push for that move. That's what we want you to. You need to be involved in you pushing for a move. It can't just be like Liverpool, yeah, I'll sit back. Yep, let Liverpool do all the work. He would have to say to Newcastle, like, yo, I kind of want to go.
Yeah.
Like the offer and everything from Liverpool is just too hard to turn down. Alan's put in the chat. You can want him more. You like. You spent 200 million. There's no way you're going to spend 350 in one summer. But the fact of the matter is, though, mate, is look at the money that we're bringing in.
That's what I was going to say. The
It's not
outgoing,
like we've just spent 350 mil
yeah,
and just not sold
kept
anyone.
everyone else. Yeah,
We've already made 60 million this summer from player sales. We made 50 million last summer. We've still got to sell Darwin Núñez. It's going to be 50 to 60. We've still got Chiesa. That's probably going to be between 10 and 15.
yeah.
We've still got Simicast to go. Potentially with the Diaz news that's coming out. Luis Diaz
Ben Doak,
potentially could go.
got Ben
And I
Doak
tell
on
you
the
this
boat.
now, if we sell Luis Diaz
That's
and
18 million.
if we sell Chiesa, I'm going to say it right now. If we sell Diaz, Darwin and Chiesa, we get Isak. I think Liverpool will go all in, and then what
Yeah,
they'll
if you
do
sell
is they'll
those,
get Malik
they'll just spend a lot
Fofana.
of money. Yeah,
I think Liverpool would be happy to rock with Jota, Gakpo, Malik Fofana, Isak, and Salah next season as their attackers, while bringing in Yivits, etc., that can score goals. So, yeah, watch this space, and we're going to be making easily 150 to 200 mil. Where to see it in the move? It's literally on your screen.
Yeah.
Fun facts. Hughes and Edwards are great friends. Well, time to use that great friendship and say, look,
Yeah. I thought
yeah,
I was gonna say, yeah, take my best striker, dude.
what's the Black? Apparently, who's the Blackpool player we signed about? We signed a Blackpool player, apparently.
Really?
According to Owen Webb, apparently we were selling a Blackpool player. I say no more than 123 million Isak worth Newcastle lower asking price. Negotiations or keep Isak offer 350 per week. Yeah,
He
left
might
wing.
sign that. If that's 50 a week, he might sign that in Newcastle.
I don't see them offering 350. I'm going to be
A lot of
honest.
money, 350 a week is a lot of money.
If they're struggling to pay 50 million for Anthony Elanga, I don't think they offer him 350. Do you know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah.
So how do you see the Isak situation going down in the next couple of weeks? And I'll give you my opinion.
I think this is going to take us a month to try and do. I don't think it's going to be an easy one unless if there's two options. If he comes out and says I want to go to Liverpool, I think it happens within 2 weeks. 2 weeks. He might miss the first preseason game at Preston, and then he'll go on tour with Liverpool. I think that will happen if he says that. But if it's just rumors, I think it might just end, or he might come in just after the last preseason game. I think this one's going to take a while to happen if those are the two options that I have. But generally, I just wanted to come out and say, yeah, he wants to go Liverpool, but I don't think he will. That's what I want, but that's my opinion on it.
I mean, I agree with you. Is Elanga worth 50 million pounds? The article is paper talk. I mean, he's literally confirmed that you literally put in a bid.
Yeah.
50 million for Elanga.
There's probably better players you can get out there.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
No substance, and he has 3 years left on his contract. Okay. But the more clubs that are flirting... Mate, the one thing I've noticed with Newcastle fans, they do not want to sell him. Obviously, they don't want to sell him.
Yeah.
But they're getting very touchy regarding the situation, in the sense of they're beginning to panic, in the sense of I've seen a lot of people speak about... I've watched a couple of people speak about the situation there. They are slightly worried.
Yeah.
Because he is 25 going on 26. So in the next year or two, he is going to be going into his prime years.
Yeah.
And he's going to want to be winning Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle will eventually get there, but when is getting there though? You know,
Yeah.
we are getting touchy because this is all I've heard for the last season.
Well, I remember this used to be us, Liverpool. I remember going.
This used to be us, bro.
It used to be us, bro. It comes around in full circle. Fortunately, it used to be us. We used to be the team where we'd lose all our best players, but it's unfortunately for you, Liverpool are at a stage where they're the best team in the country now. So, or top 3 teams in the world at the moment. So this is what happens when you reach this level at the moment. You get to. It's our time to dip our hand in the cookie jar and just take a player here and a player there, man.
110%. What was I was going to bring up? And obviously, there was a report a couple of days ago that Liverpool could make an offer to Newcastle early as in July. And July is next week.
Yeah.
So this is how I see the situation going down. Arsenal, Barcelona, and Liverpool, Newcastle fans acting away, yet they are trying to do the same with Forest. Makes me laugh. Liverpool test the waters. The floodgates are open. I see the Isak situation going down as simple as this. I think Liverpool right now will continue to work on the outgoings. Your Darwin Núñez, your Kezias, and your Elliots. Once those 3 have gone, or at least maybe one of them, i.e. Darwin, I think Liverpool may be making a bid. Maybe it could be an official bid. It could just be a bid.
Enquiry.
But I do think Liverpool. I do think you will hear something in the next 2 weeks regarding Isak with Liverpool. Whether that's Liverpool have called their interest and they said, "Yep, no," or they're going in. I do think you are going to hear something because you've not even heard the negative people, i.e. James Pearce shut the story down. You've not seen Paul Joyce shut the story down. You've not seen anybody really shut the story down. And normally when it comes to this sort of magnitude of player with this prize and what's on stake in terms of how much he's going to cost, normally you say, boom, yeah, Liverpool are calling their interest. Yeah, boom, Liverpool are not going to be going in for Alexander Isak.
Yeah.
So I think it is alive. How alive? I think time will only tell on the situation. But I do think Isak to Liverpool. It is exciting, and I do think we are gonna have to keep an eye on it in the next couple of weeks. 110%. What was I gonna speak about with outgoings? Have you seen the news about Robertson?
Yeah, I heard this. I heard that Atletico had moved on because they don't see him no longer option because they feel like it would take too much of a long time because Ad Robertson said he wants time to think about his next move because he respects Liverpool and looks like Atletico weren't really confident in their conversation with him, I guess, and that move is now off the table. I did see that one last night as well. So yeah, man, I'm happy to keep Robertson at the club. I'm happy this has happened, to be honest with you. I'd rather see him stay. I can't complain.
Yo.
Big up, uncle.
Yeah,
I'm back. Of
course, it's back. Come on, bro. We was just speaking about Isak. We can quickly go back for you. What is your thoughts quickly before we speak? We're just going to speak about Robertson. The Isak stuff is not going away, and Liverpool potentially making an offer in July. Also, while with reports that Newcastle put in a bid for James Trafford, Anthony Elanga, and João Pedro, and all bids rejected.
All bids rejected. Raw, stop that.
All 3 bids rejected,
And you expecting Isak to stay at that club? Come on now, seriously. Listen, I told you. I think keep on telling people from early, get on that train reserve your seat on that train, because when the train's ready to leave, right, boy, and you're not on a train, it's not waiting around for you. It's going on time. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, like expected at this time. No, it's going on that time. So get on that train. Listen, I think what they would probably do in relation to sort of like those three players, João Pedro, Trafford. Did you say Trafford?
Yeah,
And
James
Yeah,
Trafford.
James Trafford, keeper. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what they'll probably do, they'll just probably come back with a more improved offer. That's what they do, don't they? You know what I mean? Come back with a more improved offer, and then, they want to go. Because when you think about João Pedro in itself, yeah, he will probably stand more of a chance of winning something in Newcastle than what he would with Brighton, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, right. So he'll move there. The other two, like Alanga, again, I can see him in the Newcastle shirt. Trafford, I can see him in the Newcastle shirt as well. So these things will happen, and they'll probably just have to come back with a more improved offer. You know what I mean? So really and truly, if they get the money from like Isak, they'll be able to do that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, these things at the day, right, keep on coming around for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Now, I heard that as well, that they Liverpool could make an offer in July to test the waters. You know what I mean? To see the reaction. Do you get what I'm saying? So, for instance, they probably say, like, "Oh, we offer 100 million, yeah, up front, and this amount in sort of like in add-ons. You know what I mean, like bonuses and so forth." And let's say it comes up to 120, yeah. So what will happen at the day is like they will engage Isak's reaction. That's what they want to do. They want
Yeah.
to Isak's reaction, not so much bothered about the club, because even if Isak hands in a transfer request or expresses a desire to go to Liverpool, they can't stand in his way. Literally can't stand in the way, because he's literally saying, "Look, I'm going to get you money for me. It's not I'm not getting chicken for you. I'm getting you money for me," and this can sort of like more further enhance the PSR. I think it is the PSR. Do you know what I mean? If they get money for Isak, they can, they
Take
don't
him
have to
splash.
they don't really have to worry about the PSR. They can go and do their thing. You know what I mean? Within reason. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like it's a win-win situation for Newcastle. So, obviously they want to test their resolves. You know what I mean? They may go for that 100 million up front, and say that 20 or 25 million in add-ons and stuff, bonuses and rare. Or they may say like, nah, man, improve your offer a bit, and then we can talk. You know what I mean? But these things are coming around too often for it not to be true, for not to be a good chance that Alexander Isak could be wearing a Liverpool shirt next season. And if we do that, if we get that sorted, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
I'll do a backflip on stream and I can't do a backflip.
Listen, if Isak signs me, I'm going to be the first person to do a 24-hour stream for a player that's actually signed for a club. Name me someone else who's done that.
Nope.
Are you going to do what Isak doesn't sleep? Put yourself sleeping on the stream as well? Or
Nah, bro, I'm just going to stay up. And, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sleep for like 2-3 days in a row prior to that. So I'm not going to be knackered. And I actually am thinking of every time someone subscribes, the time gets added on.
No, you don't want to do that.
No, but if that happens, I will.
Kill yourself, mate.
Yeah,
exactly. No, if that happens, I will be allowed to go for a nap. If you get me.
Okay. So so you can, okay.
So it'll be like a subathon. So who
Yeah,
knows? I could be live for like 4 or 5 days straight.
Yeah.
It could be a terrible idea. It could be an idea that's brilliant, or it could be one of those ones when if it actually went on for far too long, and in a couple let's say it lasted a few days, I could be thinking, oh shit, what have I got myself into type stuff. But I do think that's why I'm keeping interesting tabs on Newcastle's business because, you know, they're just willing to spend 120 million on 3 players. What, to the Newcastle fan in the chat, you'll know more than me. Or do you two know how much Newcastle can spend this summer? Because I saw if there was to sell Isak, for example, they can go and spend 350, they can go and spend 300. So I think they can only spend a certain amount this summer.
Yeah, I think they can because because of this PSR thing, this is what they're kicking up so much fuss because they're saying that well, why is the rules only applying to people like us and Everton and certain other teams, but it's not applying to Man City? They can go out and spend what they want, you know what I mean, without no retribution, and they've got 115 charges hanging over them.
Yeah, but the thing is, what I think a lot of people are missing though, Man City do sell a lot of academy players.
Yeah, but the fact is that they spend more than what they sell. This is the point of what I was saying. It's like they do sell academy players. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but they buy. They buy more than what they sell. Yeah, they buy more than what they sell. They're spending more money than what they're actually selling. Do you know what I mean? There's still some underbelly business with it. Do you know what I mean? They're obviously trying to do things right. Do you know what I mean? But they're still like hoodwinking people. It's still in this hoodwink thing. Do you know what I mean? And this is what sort of like a lot of teams are talking about. And even when the fact of them selling academy players and such, yeah, they've only just started recently doing that. Before they never did that. Before Alvarez and before they got Alvarez in, yeah, and they sold him for a massive profit, they weren't really doing that. Do you know what I mean? It was just like cooking the books, as it were. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, so listen, there was hoodwinking a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? Is that now with like the threat of them, you know, with these 150 charges and they're charging them and this and that, you know what I mean? We were supposed to have an outcome in February. Oh, now we ain't heard nothing yet. Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm getting at? All now, from February till now, we ain't heard nothing yet. So with that threat coming up, yeah, they started to do things, you know, trying to do things the proper way. But then people are thinking, well, so that's fair enough. But what about what you used to do before? Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, it's like if a person was a thief and it caused a lot of misery to people with his thievery, yeah, right. But then he decides to clean up his act, yeah. People are gonna say, well, yeah, that's fine, you clean up your act and all that. But what about all the misery you caused before? Do you know what I mean? You get me? You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just shambolic. But in relation to sort of like Newcastle, they can only spend a certain amount of money at the moment with this PSR thing. They're going to spend a certain amount of money. But if they was to sell Alexander Isak, well, the money that they can spend will bump up to over 300 million. Do you know what I mean? Now, to be fair, end of the day, if you're spending, you know what I mean, can bump up over 300 million. Listen, you can completely revamp your squad. You know what I mean? You can completely revamp your squad. And plus, what you could do just to be sneaky, you can even sort of like get a few loan players as well, and just pay the access of like 5 or 6 million for the loan. Do you know what I mean? So it's just about being a bit savvy, but like it's in their best interest to sell Isak, really. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
I'm not saying that because of Liverpool, you know what I mean, coming to Liverpool, but it's in their best interest to sort of like sign Isak because number one at the day, if they do sign Isak, they'll be able to spend more money and like they can, you know, invest more money into their club, the squad, and that. And two, Isak, all right, it could come to a situation where Isak might resent Newcastle. Because if they don't win anything next season, yeah, and he's still with Newcastle, he's gonna think, well, you know, as we talked before, that a lesser player comes to Newcastle, yeah, and let's say, for instance, we end up winning the Champions League and the league, right? He's gonna look at sort of like Newcastle and say to her, bro, you should let me go let me go. Then look what I could have won.
Yeah,
Liverpool.
this is time to leave.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you with saying.
Yeah.
This is his time to leave. If he's to leave to go to another club, I think this is the year he should do it.
Yeah.
I don't think he should wait until next year because Liverpool need a striker. When are you ever gonna be able to go to a club that need a striker and that's Premier League winning champions as well? When do you ever get the opportunity to go in and knowing that Liverpool need a striker? It put 2 and 2 together. He's literally Liverpool's perfect fit. So in my mind, I think Isak personally, I can't speak for him as an individual, but he must be thinking in his head, I need this Liverpool move.
Yeah.
It just makes sense because we Champions League, Prem champions. At this moment in time, Liverpool are one of the top clubs in Champions League. We're gonna, even though we got knocked out last season, we are a team that can get later on to the Champions League, quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. You know, playing big games. You know that's what you want to play as a player of his level. He's gonna say, "I want to be in big, memorable Champions League games," and he hasn't been in those kind of games yet. So with Liverpool, you can get all of that stuff. You can get a high out of being trophy as well. If we got a number 10 in with works that could probably feed him food, which is goals as a striker. So this is the best time for him to move. Or any striker out there, Liverpool will be the best move for them. So what we should do is,
Did Newcastle qualify for Champions League this season?
Yeah, they did. They have. Yeah.
But they ain't gonna do. No, listen. I'm trying not to be disrespectful. I'm trying not to be disrespectful towards Newcastle because that's not what I'm here for. But let's think about it realistically. Let's be realistic. Yeah. How far do you see Newcastle going in the Champions League?
They could get past group stages. Like
Yeah.
they can get past group stages. Maybe round 16. You don't think so?
You would have to, I don't think they'll get. I don't think they'll qualify through the top 8.
I don't either. Yeah.
You think so?
No, because the top 8 I think will be like Liverpool, Barcelona, Madrid.
No, I mean below that they could go like. Is it round of
the playoffs?
Yeah, playoffs.
But like you've seen this season, Man City played Real Madrid. If they get like a big boy team like that, then they're cooked.
Yeah, but I don't think Newcastle are a team where they're bad enough at this moment not, because if you see Newcastle against the big teams this year, they've played well. So it's not like they're like
I might say be disrespectful, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not being disrespectful. I've always maintained.
It's
always maintained.
Yeah,
it's him. Yeah, right there. He's him.
Yeah, he's trying to say I'm gonna be disrespectful, but I'm not. I'm just being realistic. I'm being realistic of like Newcastle's chances. Do you know what I mean? Like what happened last season when there was in not last season, the time before when it was in the Champions League, and they had Isak. Yeah, they had Isak.
The squad weren't big enough. Yeah,
but they had Isak though, didn't they? They had.
Yeah,
Isak,
they did.
Right? No, they didn't qualify.
Mm.
They didn't qualify for the round 16. They did not qualify. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we have to look at things that.
To be fair, they were shafted.
Yeah, they did.
How did they get shafted?
They got the hardest group, didn't they?
To be fair, they did have like PSG.
Yeah, but we the same thing happened to us, bro.
We had Napoli, PSG, and who?
Yeah, we what remember in the day, right? The difference with the Newcastle thing, yeah, right, is that we won our group. We won the like thing, yeah. That mini league, we won that, yeah, right. We only lost like one game. We won that, right? And who do we have in the next round?
PSG still.
PSG, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but I did feel sorry for Newcastle because remember they did concede that dodgy ass pen. But the thing is, I'm not being disrespectful to Newcastle. I still think he'll stay there, right? Even though I brought my train ticket, I still think he'll stay there. I brought the train ticket in case it happens, innit?
Yeah,
I'm on the train with Uncle. He's sat opposite with me. N90 is also on the table as well. They're just eating their sandwiches. I'm
in the back. I'm looking around the corner just in case like this. That's what I'm doing.
I'm sat there, just drinking my drink, just waiting for the train to depart. And like I said, I'm not being disrespectful.
Right.
I think there is an excitement.
Let me show you something. Yeah, this is what let me show you what I mean. Yeah, if you talk about that group stage, yeah, where they had PSG and that, right? Cast your mind back, right, to the group stage that we had that time there, right? We had a group of death. We had the Spanish champions. We had the Italian champions. We
Yeah.
had the Portuguese champions. And everybody said that we're
Oh
not going
yeah,
to.
Porto, Napoli, and Atletico.
Yeah.
No, it's Porto, Atletico, and AC Milan. Because AC Milan won it that season.
Yes. Oh yeah, AC
Oh
Milan.
yeah, they
Remember that?
did.
Remember
They
that?
Yes,
did.
yes,
Yeah.
Right.
yes. That was
And
the
that was
AC Milan's first time being back in the champs.
right. And that was like supposed to be the group of death, yeah. I do believe, right, that we won all our games in the group. Remember, we won all our games in the group, yeah. We beat Porto home and away, AC Milan home and away, Atletico Madrid home and away. Yeah, this is the caliber of what we're talking about. Newcastle doesn't have that caliber to say, well, look, they can like be in a group of death and come out with 100% record. This is what I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? So it's all right saying like disrespectful, but no, you sometimes you have to be realistic of like a team's chances of doing this and doing that. He stands Alexander Isak is going to stand more of a chance of winning things with Liverpool than what he would with Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? That's honest. I always believe that, and I honestly think that's true. Do you know what I mean? And that is no throwing shade on Newcastle. We're just looking at the caliber of Newcastle, of the games that they've played in the past in the Champions League. And so, all right, let's check this down. In the League Cup final, yeah, where they beat us, yeah, had Arne Slot rotated his squad properly in there, right, they're not beating us. You can see at the day that a lot of the players out there on the pitch in the day was knackered.
Yeah, they were done.
Was
They were
literally
finished.
knackered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right? On energy gone. Now, if he was able to rotate his team, not able to, if he rotated his team, not able, but if he rotated his team, there's no way Newcastle are beating us. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? People could say I'm being salty or whatever, but there's no way that they are beating us if we properly rotated that team up until that time. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Because we cut down bigger trees at the day in finals, right? Than Newcastle. You know that.
Yeah. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I don't want to take anything away from Newcastle though, because they did do well in that game. Isak scored in that game. It was a beautiful finish. That's why we need them at our club, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this would be the best time for him to move to Liverpool. As I was saying before, we need a striker, and for me, I think Isak is our best option. I know you don't like Oshman is a plan B. There is Gyökeres out there as well, but for me, I like to get this Isak news done. But I think what Liverpool are going to do, they're going to do a slow burner. They'll just sell Nunez, sell Chiesa. I think that striker news will come in after, or they could still just buy Isak now and just sell later. But I think Marc Guehi, he will come in before Isak.
Yeah.
That's what I think would happen. That's the thing. But what I'm gonna have to shoot off now anyway. So big up Footy Reacts and big up Uncle Rod. Everyone try to get to Footy Reacts 260 likes. I want to check the likes for him. He is on, let's see, it's 58. So 2 more likes for Footy to reach his target. If you guys want to see me, do subscribe to my channel, link in the title, trying to get to 80. So big up everyone in the chat, big up Uncle Rods as well. Road to 5K for Uncle Rods and road to 2K for Footy Reacts. Come on, guys, man. You guys will see us a lot more in videos, especially in the season, doing like stuff. So, man, it's gonna be a good year for us, man. It's gonna be a good year for us, man. But yeah, I'll see you guys.
Facts.
See you out, yeah.
Big up yourself, bro. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Anytime.
Yo.
Big up.
Yeah.
This is where I'm thinking, Uncle, in the sense of it's gone from Isak, not for sale, only for a sale of 150 to 200 million. Now they'll rather sell to foreign clubs. This is where I think this is the way you start knocking on the door. You're putting the pressure on them. And this is what Liverpool have to do. And I've said consistently, look, if we're going to get him, he will need to push for the move himself. He would have to play, obviously, a huge part. I think personally, we 100% move in and put a big bid in if we also sold Luis Diaz. Because I think Liverpool could be like, look, we can get maybe 60, 70 for Diaz, 54 for Darwin. That's like 120, maybe a bit more with add-ons. Then you look at the other factors of selling over Chiesa as well. Selling those three could fund Isak alone. You know?
Yeah.
And I think Liverpool would be happy with Gakpo, Salah, Isak, Jota, and maybe they go and get a Malik Fofana, for example. While also having your McAllisters, your Boslais, your Verts that can also chip in with goals, Frimpong as well, Kirkes as well. Other players can chip in. So I think personally, would you be happy with that if you were to sell 3 attackers but only bring in 2?
Yes, but I will sell Jota instead of Diaz. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm just like, as I said, I'm not kind of like, I'm not saying that Jota is a bad footballer. He's an amazing footballer, but it's his availability that does it for me. And then I think so. Well, what's the use of having all that bags of talent and he can't use him? Do you know what I mean? Just can't use him because, like, you know, he's going to pick up an injury, and every time that he goes on a pitch now, you're going to kind of feel kind of nervous that whether he's going to pick up injury. So I think I would most likely sell Jota instead of Diaz, and plus as well on the Diaz thing, where would he go to? Because I don't think he wants to go to Saudi. Yeah. Barcelona don't seem to want to pay the money that we're asking for him. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, where does this guy go right now? You know what I mean? So I will keep Diaz for at least another season because he's got more availability than what Jota has. Do you know what I mean? Jota might be a better footballer than him. You know what I mean? But we're talking about availability. Do you know what I mean? You know, if you cannot be on the pitch to showcase your talents because you're injured, it's just like you're no use to any club, not much less than us. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
He could go. He could go Bayern Munich.
So buying one of them, are they prepared to pay the money though? Listen, if any club out there, like any decent club out there, are prepared to pay the money, and he wants to leave, well then yeah, just sanction that. Do you know what I mean?
I'm quite mad at Diaz, if I'm being honest. He talks about he's upset with his encouragement and upset with Liverpool's stance. He's the one that's been flirting with Barcelona all season, saying potentially he wants to go to Barcelona, and now all of a sudden he's upset.
Yeah, make your mind up, son. Innit? Make your mind up, mate.
Like 1 minute, and bearing in mind, he has said he's open to moves. He's in talks with other football clubs. People forget that. He was in talks with other football clubs. In his last 2 years of his contract, on 55 grand a week, he's going to be in talks with other clubs. Bayern Munich have been linked with him of late. Would Bayern pay the money we want? I think Liverpool would accept 60 to 70. I think we could do a deal with Bayern 60 mil plus add-ons.
Yeah, they do that. They do that.
Because I could see them, you know, potentially doing that. But do you want him gone?
Listen, you know what? And I like Lucho. I think, as I said, do you know what I mean? He's not as good as Jota, but his availability is there and his tenacity is there. Everything is there. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he made what be sort of like the best football in the world, but he's not too shabby. Nevertheless, do you know what I mean? So I actually do like the guy, but I'm thinking, well, look, if you're not happy with the club, because this is what we're going to go off what is being said here, yeah. If you're not happy with the situation of the club, do you know what I mean? And like you got Bayern there willing to spend, because Bayern would do it because Bayern did spend 100 million euros on what's it called it on Harry Kane. Do you know what I mean? So they got money, they will do it. You know what I mean? And plus as well, they just lost Leroy Sané. Leroy Sané
Yep.
went to Galatasaray, which on a free as well. I was really surprised about that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, so like there's a spot there for him. Do you know what I mean? And so he's gonna get a lot of game time. So if we can make a if we can make a deal work, and obviously he's happy to go, then yeah, you move him on. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe in keeping players at the day at sort of like against their will, as it were. Like what sort of like Newcastle are trying to do, because now they're saying that they rather sell to a foreign club. You know what I mean? So you know they don't want him to go to English club. Least of all, they don't want him to go to Liverpool, because Liverpool are the only team that's in for Isak. You know what I mean? I don't see any other team in for it. Do you know what I mean? So I suppose at the end of the day, sort of like, if it suits the team, yeah, go. But Jota, I will sell Jota as well. To be honest, I will sell Jota as well. I just don't think he's his availability, my friend, that kind of like doesn't speak highly to me. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think what's a concern for me is more the fact of that when I look at Luis Diaz and the Jotas of these worlds, I just cannot surely see a world where Liverpool sell 4 players in the attacking department. Because yes, if we were bringing Isak, we would still need to bring in another body or two. That's why I think Liverpool, if they sell Diaz, could we return to the Gordon stuff?
That to me and the day, if they did that, if they sold, obviously you sell like Darwin Núñez, Chiesa, Jota, and Diaz, yeah, get rid of 4 players, and you're either going to bring in Isak and what's it, Gordon. You're going to bring them 2 players. I'll be good with that, man. Just them 2. I'll be
Well,
good.
if we sold Chiesa, Darwin, Luis Diaz, and Jota,
Yeah,
what sold 4, bringing 2?
yeah, because them 2 and them 2 make 4. You know what I mean? Because them 2 them 2 alone, and they've got probably about 30 or 40 goals in them. They've probably got about that. Do you know what I mean? Because that sort of like you know that Gordon likes to drift into the centre as well and score goals. Do you know what I mean? He likes to score goals from all angles. Do you know what I mean? So then you got Isak that likes to come from deep and take a shot on him. Do you know what I mean? So like it's an endless world of potential, that is. A really endless world of potential if you're getting rid of those players at the end of the day, and you're bringing in sort of like 2 players that at the end of the day that between them, right? There's 30 goals, at least 30 goals between them. You know what I mean? Like one can get 15 and the other can get 15. Do you know what I mean? And then you got to look at sort of like what were you getting out of Darwin Núñez? What were you getting out of sort of like Chiesa? What were you getting out of Jota and Diaz? Do you know what I mean? What were you getting out of them? So like it's all about really and they putting the best acquisition in your side, even if it means just bringing in 2. Do you know what I mean? Because 2 can make up for the 4 that you've let go. You know what I mean?
I personally wouldn't mind keeping Jota.
Mm.
Mainly due to the fact is, if we got a good fee for him, yes. The only reason I would sell Jota, keep Jota over the rest of them, is mainly due to market value, and because with that market value of the players that we would sell, it would increase our chances of bringing in real quality of a striker. That's my reasoning, not because I think Jota's better than Diaz. I don't think that, but I feel like with Jota this season, he's not really struggled to stay fit. It's more about his performances. So if he can actually find that Davo C. Cop Bomber.
What's going on here? What is going on here?
There's been a bomber, apparently.
What's going on here? Check it out, man. What's wrong with you?
Oh my god, what?
What's it? What is it?
I'm gonna check now. Davo C. Cop Bomber. Someone in the chat said bomber.
I
Where's
know,
the bomber?
I
Where's
can't
the
see it.
bomber?
New report to the agreed deals signed to sign midfielder. That must be it.
Liverpool 3 hours ago. Liverpool agreed to sign 16-year-old from Blackpool.
Is that it?
I
I'm sorry, Darryl. That's not really the
thought
one.
it was going to be like Liverpool are going to put in a bid for someone, man.
Yeah, no, that's not the one, mate. That's not the one.
Bruv,
Come
what?
on. You just got us hyped for nothing. You just got
Bruv.
us hyped for nothing.
You know what? For that, mate, send a £2 super chat. I'm joking. You can make up for it.
£2 fine, isn't it?
Yeah, £2 fine. Anyone that flipping thing is, get your super chats in. I'm joking. You don't have to go send your super chats. Although members are available if you want to become a member. What was I going to say? I think, yeah, man, mad.
It's mad
I
thing,
think, in my opinion, God, I got excited then.
I know, innit?
Oh, for God.
Welcome.
Welcome to the game. I personally think Diaz is that situation again, where he's got to do something with his contract because he's on peanuts. He's better than 55 grand a week.
Yeah. Look at us now. Look at us. Yeah, if we was on 55 grand a week, we'd be like Ross. We're actually saying 55 grand a week is not enough for somebody. No, but I understand what you're saying. It's true. It is true. Like when you see certain players at the end of the day of what and look at their wages of what they're on, and you could probably say that Diaz is probably better than them. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, you think stuff, well, there's something wrong with this picture here. Do you know what I mean? There's really something wrong with this picture here still. So listen, they're gonna have to sort something out. They're gonna have to, like, you know, up his wages, man. Up his wages. If they don't up his wages, then what that means at the end of the day, well, look, you know, he's a goner. You know what I mean? But the only thing that I would say at the end of the day, the only thing about Jota at the end of the day, sort of like, I'm not impressed with his availability over his time at Liverpool. I know he had availability wise last season, he sort of like he was good. His availability was good, and to your fact, to what you said, and then maybe that might be the turning point now. Maybe that might be the turning point. Maybe next season and he is more available. Do you know what I mean? You know, because what it is with Arne Slot, his new way of training regime is that they don't train so hard. You know what I mean? You know, they train so hard on that. So maybe that new training regime and stuff, maybe that's done the world of good for Jota. Do you know what I mean? We can only see next season when he comes in. If he's here next season, we can only see, you know, how good it is. Do you know what I mean? Because I know that Arne Slot rates him. You know, Arne Slot rates him on that. So we can only see. But obviously, my main point would be his availability.
Yeah. I do think a couple of more things I wanted to get your opinion. We in N90 were speaking about it earlier. Have you seen the stuff about Tom Werner?
No, I haven't. What's this Tom Werner? What's he done?
He came out and said to the Echo, this is what he said about speaking to the Echo. He said, "It's an exciting time right now, but we all wake up every day and keep using the word relentless. We want to win more trophies. We don't want to just appreciate what we have done. We are hungry to be more successful. And what is exciting is that the league is tremendously competitive, and we think it will be challenging season." He also then followed up with, He spoke on the Verts transfer that there was a lot of noise last year that we didn't go out and sign somebody for 100 million, but Arne felt the right thing to do was work with the squad he has. He also feels it's the right thing to do now to bring in some fresh faces in. And if Verts is half the talent that the media and the analysts say, then it will be the right decision. It is exciting, and I hope in a year we can say it was the right decision. Thoughts?
Well, they're finally doing the right thing. Do you know what I mean? You know, I'm not too sure if it was down to Arnie Slot saying that day, well, no, don't buy no players and that. Don't buy no players to see what the squad, assess the squad and stuff. Because like, if you did assess the squad, if you did assess the squad, you would have known at the day that we did need reinforcements that last season. You know what I mean? Yes, we won the league. Don't get me wrong. That's a great achievement. But you know, we could have won more on top of that. We could have won the Champions League if the right acquisitions were brought in, right? But that's history now. You know what I mean? So I don't think it was down to Arne Slot. I think it was down to them. They made a conscious decision that they weren't going to spend this season. They're going to sort of like spend it next season. You know what I mean? Because there's an age-old thing. What happens with Liverpool? Whenever we drop out the Champions League sort of like spots, you know what I mean, qualification spots, whenever we drop out of there, we tend to sort of like start buying players to get us back into there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So they was probably gonna see what Arnie Slot can do with his team and going forward, well, look, you know, if he drops out the spot there, right? Drops out the spot there, we will sort of like we will get reinforcements for him to get us back into that situation. However, if we do something sort of like good and substantial, whether it be the league, whether the FA Cup or Champions League or whatever, yeah, we'll give him reinforcements to sort of like to stay in the chase, as it were. Do you know what I mean? You get what I mean? So it was never down to sort of like it's never going to be down to Arnie Slot's decision whether who comes in and who doesn't come in, because the fact was he's just a head coach. He's not the manager. He's a head coach, and the head coach at the day is only there to coach the team, to coach the squad that he's got. You know what I mean? You're there to coach the squad that you got, and obviously, if we bring in players at the day, you got to coach the players that we brought in to the best of their ability. He's solely there to coach. He's not. He hasn't got. He hasn't really got any opinion on sort of like not opinion, any say, because everybody can have an opinion. He hasn't really got any say on who comes in and who goes out. He hasn't really got a say. You know what I mean? But like, listen, you know what I mean? However way it worked out, you know what I mean? Finally they're doing the right thing. Finally they're getting these players in, and it doesn't look like they're stopping. You know what I mean? Because it looks like that Marc Guehi deal is on the brink of getting done. Do you know what I mean? That's going to get done. And as we've been talking about when we talk about Alexander Isak, there's a strong possibility that he does come to Liverpool. There's a strong possibility of that. Do you know what I mean? If things go the way that you know that Liverpool want it, if things go the way that Liverpool want it, he could be wearing a Liverpool t-shirt and scoring so much goals. Do you know what I mean? Playing with the likes of Sabozalai, McAllister, Gravenberch, and the list goes on. You know what I mean?
Facts, and that's why I'm not um concerned regarding. I wasn't concerned regarding transfer system. I actually had, for once, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go and have faith in the backroom team and everything like that, and embed into the project that they're building, because when my manager, my players are coming out and saying like, "Yo, Liverpool are gonna be, I don't know, making business this summer." Like we all saw, Virgil van Dijk said on many occasions he was excited for the window, and that's actually come to fruition. So there's no reason why to not be excited as fans. And even if we don't sign Alexander Isak, we go and get Hugo Ekitike. It's still been a fantastic window.
That's still a good signing. Still a good signing.
So if we sign Hugo Ekitike, Guéhi, Kerkezverts and Frimpong, I'm still giving that window an absolute solid rating because we brought in one of the best 10s in world football, one of the best left backs in the league, one of the best, just a really good centre back from the league in Marc Guehi. So even if we don't sign Isak, it's been a brilliant window. And
yeah, no doubt.
and it looks like the owners now are actually thinking, because there's a lot of money in football, if we actually invest, we can actually earn more money back. Because if you think about it, they're going to be thinking, look, we need to try and win the Champions League in the next 4 years. Because look at that club. They're going to be looking at that club World Cup and thinking, look, Liverpool can be making nearly 200 million from that. You get 60 million for just entering it. So if you finish bottom of your group, you still get 60 million. Doesn't matter who your team is. If you let 50 goals in, you get 60 million pounds. So that's why I think teams want to really spend to try and get into that Champions League because they know the long-term project is to try and get to that Club World Cup. And what will come after that? Big up to everyone. 60 likes hit. Do you think that's a possibility of what the owners are potentially looking at, or do you just think they actually just want to be ambitious?
I mean,
I
think it's a bit of both. Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. They want to be ambitious, and the rewards of money coming into the club. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a bit of both. When you look at sort of like what they can do, do you know what I mean? I mean, they've got the ability. They've got the ability of winning the Champions League. Even if they bring in sort of like Ekitike, you know, bringing him, you bring in Ekitike, and you bring in that guy there, Fofana, which you can get for cheap from Lyon. You should be able to because they're relegated. So you know what I mean? Yeah, big up, rough respect, JP. Yeah, if you bring in them man's then and they right, and plus with the acquisitions that you already bought in, and the fact of the team that you already got, I can't see no reason why you won't win the Champions League. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you know they know at the end of the day, sort of like the future's bright if they do if they do spend the money and bring in the right players at the end of the day that can get him sort of like, you know, get him success. Do you know what I mean? You know, so they are thinking about that. That's why I think they sort of like this new regime thing. You know what I mean? This new way of thinking and of like how they want to run the club. And we've been telling them to do this for a long time. It's not just the other day we've been telling them to do this. For a long time we said that you can do this because at the end of the day, the rewards are greater if you do it the way that we said to do it. Now they seem to be listening for some reason, and they're doing it in a way that you know, that we're supposed to be doing it. But like, listen, I do think it's a bit of both, and both factors have to be sort of like thought about. You know what I mean? One, ambition. Two, the money, because like you got, if you have ambition, yeah, the rewards at the end of the day is money. You know what I mean? So whatever you lay down, yeah, you can literally make double. You can double your money. You can double your money, and it's just like that's just where it is. Listen, I will prefer an Isak, yeah, right, but I won't say no to Ekitike. I won't say no.
yeah, facts.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I won't say no at all to Ekitike. Right, I've got to bounce. Because I need to pop out and do a few relevant errands for
Big up.
Mummy
Do
King.
you want to let know what you've got coming up and what shows you've got coming up and stuff like that?
Yes. Today I might. It's 50-50 if I do a show today. I usually try and have Saturday off unless sort of like any news breaks, and you know what I mean, we have to come on and, you know, talk about it. But I will be 100%. I'll be back on Sunday evening, 9:30. I hope you can join me as well, Footy. Hope you can join me.
Yes, Sunday evening. Yeah, I'll be free. What time?
9:30. 9:30.
Yeah, I'll be free. I'll be free.
Yeah. So far, the panel is, well, I think it's gonna stay like that, stay like this anyway. So far, it's gonna be you. Obviously, N90 is gonna be in there, Indian Scouser, and Sunshine. Sunshine's coming on there. American lady, and she's a Man United supporter. She's coming on there, and we're just gonna talk football. We're gonna talk football. From obviously the Man United view, the Liverpool view, and any other teams at the day that we care to talk about. But yeah, the new Sunday night vibe show, the new Sunday night vibe show. So yeah, looking forward to that. So that's the only confirmed show I've got coming up on Sunday, and then on Monday afternoon I've got a show with Cal from Coppish. Cal from Coppish can join the show on 1 o'clock Monday afternoon. So that should be good as well. Do you know what I mean? Because I always have good chats with Cal, and then I think I'm trying to sort out a show with Matt as well. Matt for in a week as well. So listen, you know what, guys, right? There's some good things coming up from me, myself, Footy Reacts, and N90. There's a lot of good shows coming up. So get involved. Get involved. And also, if you don't mind me saying as well, Footy with Ends, yeah, please go and check him out. He's doing a lot of great shows. Do you know what I mean? And I should be collaborating with him as well, along with Footy Reacts as well.
I've messaged him a few times. Yeah, I've messaged him a few times. I
Yeah.
think we're gonna sort something soon.
Yeah. He's an amazing guy, brilliant guy. He's hard working on his.
Do you still collab with Jamie?
I haven't for a while still, but I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna get something popping off with that still. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna start getting back my collabs again. Do you know what I mean? But like when it comes to ends, man, if you get an Ensman show, right, you enjoy it. You will enjoy it. It's just I was on this show the other night, and it was me, G, and then Dean from Footy.
Fan zone, is it fan
Fan
zone?
Zone, that's it. Yeah, fan zone. He came on. Mate, I never laughed so much in my life, especially with Dean, man. He's stupid. He just kills you. He just kills you laughter. But those are the shows that he does. He wants people to come on and they sort of like and have laughter and talk football and have good conversations, agree to disagree. Do you know what I mean? And then vibes. And so when you get in this show, you'll enjoy it. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. But yeah, those are the shows I got coming up. Yeah, and it's us lot, all three of us have got some great shows coming up. And so keep on checking us out, keep on liking to our channels, and keep on subbing if you have not subbed. Yeah, and listen, you'll get some great shows from us, man. Because we're here for this.
I want to collab with Savage.
Yeah, he's a good guy as well. He's a good guy as well. We speak to Ends and day and see if
Honestly, that guy is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
I think I watched a show the other week where I can't remember the guy's name. He came on the show and he was like cooking him and stuff.
K-Mac.
Yeah. Oh god.
I only saw about a minute of that because I was flicking through sort of like channels and I couldn't stay long because
Go back and watch it. Oh my god.
Yeah, because I remember hearing one bit. He goes like because he said that Vert's got past a player twice, but it wasn't twice, it was only once. Something like that, where only once, and he goes, so then you're lying then. He goes, well, yeah. He goes, well, yeah, I made a mistake. He goes, so what, no, you're lying. Why'd you lie? Why'd you have to lie? You know what I mean? And just went on like that. But
that was mad.
Apparently, he got kind of like abusive, didn't he?
Yeah.
By swearing and this and that,
yeah,
all that, and consequently, he's never allowed back on Enzi's show. because what it is at the day, when people start doing those sort of things, they start having arguments with other panel members.
And plus,
And
they're best. They're like. I've known Enz's channel for like some time. Like it looks like those two have always they've been close friends for years.
what it was, it
Do you know
didn't
what I mean?
start, it didn't
As
start
well.
off like that, but they obviously built something over the years. Yeah, yeah. But the thing is about it, like when you got people coming and this is what like obviously yourself got to be careful of. Yeah, yeah. You've worked hard on your brand. You've worked hard to get where you got now. Yeah, you cannot have anybody coming on your channel and messing it up for you, right? All it takes is one wrong word and right, and you're shagged. You know what I mean? That can mess you up, and all the hard work that you've done over the years goes down the Swanee. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Now, this is what it was with K-Mac. He came on whether I agree with him or disagree with him. For the record, I do disagree with him, right? But whether the fact of that, right? What you don't do is swear at other panel members, have arguments with other panel members, yeah, right, on somebody else's channel, because it doesn't affect you, it
Yeah.
affects the person's channel that you're cussing and effing and blinding
Yeah,
on.
because you're effectively a guest.
Yes, yes, you're a guest on that person's channel, you're a guest on that person's brand. They've literally at the day stretch a hand out and say, yeah, come on my team, yeah. And for you to be disrespectful like that, that's not right. That's not right. So if you got anybody on your channel, this is what I'm saying to you at the end of the day, right? And I give you this advice because at the end of the day, I think of you as I think of you as a brother of mine. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm old enough, probably old enough to be your dad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know I am anyway. I know I am. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not saying anything, mind you, right? Right. So, but what it is in the day, if you ever got anybody in your channel and they start going on abusive like that, yeah, cut them off straight away. Cut them off straight away. No second chances, nothing like. You just get them out. You know what I mean? Just take them out. Yeah. And you say to them, you're no longer welcome on my channel because I cannot have that behavior on my channel. This is not the channel for that. This is not Jerry Springer. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's my advice to you, and they protect your brand at all time, my friend. Protect it all the time.
Yeah, I have the basic rules on my channel, like no one calling names in the chat. Have banter, of course, but if you take it too far by people, let's say being I don't know, homophobic or racist, stuff like that, automatically blocked. I don't care if if you've been sub to my channel for 2 years, you've sent in super chats, this and that. I don't care.
Yeah.
If you're anything on the lines of actual borderline abusive or racist or anything like that, you're gone. See you later. Goodbye. And when it comes to the panels, I always make sure people have their cameras on because all it takes for some random guy to come on my channel, have the camera off. Next minute, the camera's on. All goes off. I've seen it before. Like when I've watched people do call-in shows. Like before I started doing YouTube properly again, I studied the game in terms of panel shows.
Yeah.
Like who to invite, how do people set up their call-ins, stuff like that. Because I want to take their advice and their knowledge because for when I do it, I don't want to set up a flipping call-in show. Next minute, someone's getting the bits out. Like some people have done that on call-in shows that I've seen.
Yeah.
So that's what I am gonna have to, protect, and that's what I'm always looking out for. That's why I'm happy right now, with you, N90, GP, a couple of others that come on, because I actually trust you guys, and you're not knobs. Do you know what I mean? To put it purely simple,
Yeah.
and I don't get involved in this whole YouTube beef. Like, there's a couple of people in the chat saying stuff about Savage and K-Mac. I've never spoken to the guy, so I'm never gonna, you know, speak about them. I'll say what I think about their channels. If someone said, like I said, I like Savage's personality on his channel. When he's done when he's done the boxing stuff, like the boxing watchalongs or the WWE shit.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm interested in that sort of style of content. So I'm never gonna say a bad word about him because I actually think he's an alright guy. And on K-Mac and stuff, I've seen him on Donahue Sam's channel a few times, and when I've watched him, he seems okay. So I'm not gonna start saying he's a knob or anything. Do you know what I mean? Simple as that. Like,
yeah. I mean, and I won't expect you to either. I won't expect you to. All I would give the advice to you is, at the end of the day, of the advice that I've just given you, at the end of the day, you don't have anybody on your channel that's going to hurt your brand. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And don't have anybody on your channel that's going to take your channel to a certain place that you don't want it to. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because you've worked too hard for that to happen. Do you know what I mean? I feel that they obviously, as an older person, I feel that it's my place to give younger members at the end of the day of this YouTube world that I do collaborate with, you know what I mean, advice. Some of it's what I've experienced, or some of it's what I've seen. Do you know what I mean? But I just feel in my part to give, sort of like, you know, younger members advice on the way they do things on their channel. Now, if they want to take my advice, I'm all good. I'm not forcing them to like do anything, do you know what I mean, that they don't want to do. Do you know what I mean? But what's it? Roz is the guru of the YouTube scene. I like that. But you know what I mean, though, because we get on in the day, right? I like you, man. You seem to me at the day a stand-up guy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's why I will give you advice and say, look, you know what I mean. If you're ever put in a situation where you think it's going south, yeah, get them out straight away. It could be two people. It could be two people you've invited on. You know what I mean? And they're just arguing with each other. You know what I mean? Just like, get out. And you speak to them one away, right, off screen and they, right, offline. You speak to them and say, look, I don't tolerate that behavior on my channel. I don't tolerate that behavior on my channel. I don't want that behavior on my channel. You're gone. Simple as that. There's no second chances. You're gone. We move. Do you know what I mean? No disrespect going for that. We move. Simple as that. Do you know what I mean? And you just leave it. You just leave it there. Do you know what I mean? That's simply that day advice that I'm giving you. Do you know what I mean? You know, on like who you have on your channel. Do you know what I mean? I mean, to be honest, that day, like I've had dealings with K-Mac. Do you know what I mean? Which I'm not going to discuss, but I've had dealings with him in the day, right? Of why I don't deal with him. I wouldn't deal with him ever again. Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? But like, I'm not telling you this for you not to have him on your channel. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you was to ever have him on your channel, you know what I mean, you're aware now of what can happen. You know what I mean? So obviously it's entirely up to you because it's your channel. Do you know what I mean? But yeah,
100%.
It's all love.
I honestly, I do appreciate like the advice and stuff like that, because you know not many people you know do that. So do you know what I mean? Like, that's why I always like to take in the information that people like give back on like advice, because obviously you've done YouTube longer than me, so it's only right for me to respect you as a person and respect what you've got to say, because you've done it longer and for me. So do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'll let you go, mate, because obviously you got shopping to do.
Yeah, I got a little bit of shopping and chores for my mum and dad, man. You know what I mean? Listen, a big man like me is still doing chores, you know. But listen, you know
I've got to do all the pots and stuff like that. My girlfriend's gonna be home in an hour and 15 minutes. So but to be honest, I literally got a text from her saying, "Do you mind doing a couple of jobs for me?" She's bringing food home, so I've got to get that done. Flipping.
You know what it is, right? This is what I'm trying to say, right? Because like, listen, this is one thing I hate when it comes to housework. I don't mind doing anything else, but this specific thing, washing up, I hate it. I despise washing up. Yeah,
Oh, I hate it.
I get it done. Don't get me wrong, but I despise it. So what I'm trying to do at the end of the month, I'm trying to get another dishwasher because the dishwasher that we had packed up. So I'm trying to get another dishwasher. So I'm gonna look on Facebook Markets if we can get one. I mean, but yeah. So listen, I'm gonna shoot. So listen, thanks again. What's it? Daryl did a jerk cooking.
People eating, drinking on my pod as well, so you can't even drink water.
It's not that. Nah, I have to drink some water, man. You have to keep hydrated, and especially in the weather that we've got now. But yeah, so listen, thanks again for inviting me on the
You're
channel.
always welcome, mate. Always welcome.
And same with you. You know what I mean? You're always welcome on my channel. Do you know what I mean? You know, if you see me live one time and you want to drop in, you just give me a shout and I'll send a link to you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
100%.
yeah,
100%.
listen,
But I'll be there in a Sunday night show anyway.
yeah, man. And listen, bless up to you and your family and your girlfriend. Weekend blessings and that. And hope you have a good weekend. And yeah, love and respect. I'll speak to you soon, bro. Love and respect.
Speak to you soon. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
Take care, bro. Take care.
Big up to Uncle Rods, man. People, go and subscribe to him. This is the end of the show. Make sure you're subscribing and you're liking on all of Uncle Rod's content. Same with N90 as well. So let's get those numbers up. Washing up, not for me. Leave that to the bless up Uncle. Yeah, bless up Uncle all the time. Big up to every single person in the chat that's tuned in. Like I said, I've got a couple of jobs I've got to get done. So appreciate all of you. We're on 64 likes. Yo, we hit when you're gonna get me on, bro. I've asked you to come on my channel a couple of times. I'm back live Sunday, so if you want to come on Sunday, come on. We'll chat. But yeah, people have a brilliant weekend. What a show again. Big up to my mods. Big up to everyone in the chat. Get liking and get subscribing. Take care and have a wonderful weekend. Up the Reds.